Stream to what? YouTube and what? Twitch?
Hello, everybody. If it's Wednesday, it's Warhammer, and that must mean it's time for another episode of Warhammer Weekly. Joining me back on the show is Marty. What's up, Marty? How you doing?
Hello, Vince. Hello, everybody. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me back.
Good painter, Stormcast man. Good painter, Soulblight man. Good painter, High Elf man. Illumineth man. Whatever that title was that Halo gave you that has morphed over the years and years. So long ago, when we were all children, back in the days of AOS 1, life was a simple time then.
Yeah, we'd love to have Halo playing at Adepticon again sometime soon.
Sometime it'll happen. We'll get him back on the show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about what I don't know if Marty, you could hear Marty at the start of the thing. We were talking right before we went live that my streaming software upgraded. Now I can do dual streaming to like multiple things at once. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do that in the future. I'll stream to Instagram or something at the same time. That's a thing, right? Kids do that. Anyway, who doesn't want to on their phone on Instagram watch a 3-hour long show? That seems completely reasonable. Okay. So tonight we're going to be talking about the best centerpiece models in AOS. We're going to rank them. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So hide your kids, hide your wife. They're bringing out all the coolest models up in here. Okay. It's time. And this will be, Marty does not, Marty does not know the rules. We'll get into it when we get there, but this is going to be, Marty, this is going to be a forced ranking. Okay. No waffly, no, no, stacked rank. Okay. One shall stand.
Precision.
Yes.
And yeah.
And one shall fall. All right. At any rate, though, first off, of course, we've got some news. I mean, there's really like, first of all, there's another rumor engine. Who cares? It's another 40K thing. Cool. We can move on. It exists, though. I did the job. The job is for me every week to say that there's a new rumor engine. It's once again a 40K thing because we don't get rumor engines anymore. So that's fine. All right.
We do occasionally, and then it's almost like the bad moon. The bad moon appears occasionally, and we're allowed to ogle at its forbidden glory before it fades again. And ends up in a different zip code.
Once every 6 rumor engines we get one. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So whatever, who cares? I'm sure it's a fun model, some kind of Iron Hand thing or an orc or whatever, mech boy or something of that nature. Great. This is all the news, though, Marty. This is the big news. Here we are. The big news. The Warhammer Quest leak heard round the world. Potato cam footage, as always, because apparently it's like a picture from a magazine from Korea that was like taken on a flip phone and then beamed to the moon and then back down. And then somebody described somebody else to it and had AI recreate a 17 pixel by 10 pixel version of the image, I think is pretty much what happened.
Remember, my real job is to be a detective. So I was able to, and I am able to see, so far, everything seems to be good. I'm able to see the chat and the actual PowerPoint.
The power.
So it looked
the power.
Games Workshop produces any number of ancillary materials, as like any big company that wants to sell you things 365 days a year would do. So it looks like it's from a holiday gift guide, and of course in there it's probably like near the back where it's like we also have these other $200 boxes that you can buy your kids or your spouse, and it's like, look at the brand new Warhammer Quest. This just came out, presume from the holiday guide's perspective, and it looks like it's for the Chinese market because it looked like it was Mandarin beneath the thumbnail of it. And because it was not meant to advertise all of the miniatures, just like, look at this thing you can buy as a gift. It's very small. It's like a 200 pixel thumbnail, and trying to like deduce anything from it other than that sure looks like Warhammer Quest seemed to be kind of moot. I am surprised that Games Workshop pivoted as they did, where they created this cool poll and invited people to interact with it instead of just dropping the whole thing and saying, well, we had all this marketing, we're going to get rid of that, here's the whole box. It's like, oh, we're going to play footsie a little bit.
Yeah, a little game. We get one model at a time through a poll. Yes, Marty's a detective. He keeps two things in his desk. One he keeps loaded, the other keeps him loaded. Okay, like if you've ever seen Sam Spade, that's just Marty. When he's not here painting Warhammer figures, he's out prowling these mean streets. Fedora, trench coat, hiding to the shadows, clinging
I
to
am
people of ill repute, trying his best to keep these dirty streets clean. No,
I
he's
am
a financial
reporting
detective.
live. Yes, I'm reporting live from the heartland of America,
Sure.
downtown New York City in the USA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what Sam Cedar does anyway. But yeah, it's nice to see. I voted for the woman that looks like she's straight out of a Larry Elmore painting, because I wanted to see like why Games Workshop made the choices that they did with this box. I could go on as long as the Bard himself about the art design behind our Hero Quest successors. It's interesting that we have all of these old world, new fusion, like Age of Sigmar and old world aesthetics, kind of meshed together into our band of characters. They have yet to show all of the heroes. It looks like from the fuzzy thumbnail that there's like three more, plus maybe like a pet. So that will be
Well, there's some
interesting to
other guys
see.
hanging out over here that might be good guys. These all look like
Yeah,
bad guys. Lots of things. But yes,
yeah,
it looks like we've got options. I mean, you can vaguely see a bunch of fuzzy Nurgle people and Dark Souls
yeah,
looking people and whatever, whatever. Sure. We'll see it
right.
all. But yes, the winner of
Yeah.
the first poll of who they revealed was Edmark Valoran, the Manticore Knight. He's a Cities of Sigmar guy. And he got in a fight and some Oxian emberstone exploded near him and buried it into his body. And now when he gets very angry, he lights on fire. And
Yeah.
he's like a
We all
whirlwind fighter.
we all know that person who was already an asshole at work, and then they got into an accident, like they fell off a ladder, or like a pallet like would like is things happen, and they became even more insufferable, but also gained superpowers somehow. So this is like maybe our Bright Wizard callback. As soon as I read that lore, I thought about there was like an Empire battle force back in the day that had a limited edition Bright Wizard, and
Mm-hmm.
he's like
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
YMCA posing,
Yep.
and he has the I don't think I've seen the miniature in years, but that just reminded me of like, they wouldn't do this, but it would be fun to have an alternate version of him where it's like in the box where he's like you can have him as the regular knight, but then when he gets mad, he goes Fire Super Saiyan, which would
That's
be
this one
funny.
right here. That's this version. This picture.
Yes.
This little picture right there is him on fire. I don't know. It's
Maybe.
very orange. So I don't know.
Right.
Could
It
be.
looks like
No, I'm just saying.
I made a joke. It looked like a Goron from Zelda, and it's like,
Sure.
sure, it could be a new species in these boxes. They get to explore the fringes of the setting for either game that wouldn't normally get a full release. So it is entirely possible that we get some sort of alien beast race that is just like, what is that?
And
It's
these
brand
boxes are
new.
classically where they
Yeah.
experiment with weird stuff.
Yeah.
Silver Tower gifted us a bunch of unfortunate things we have to live with to this day.
Yes.
And I'm sure that will repeat. Marty asked me before the show, am I excited for this? And my answer was no,
Yeah.
because I don't care
I
about
am.
these kinds of board games. But I'm
Yeah.
interested. It's not a tile thing. It's obviously clearly a board game. As you can see, the board, right? So okay, it's fine.
I think this will be a hot box because for people who are there's going to be a lot of unique Nurgle models in it. So people who collect
Sure.
Nurgle, regardless of whether they play Fantasy or 40K, they're going to be like, oh my god, I got to get those. Then there's people like me who love those individual flavorful heroes to paint for like painting competitions or just to spice up our own gaming armies. And so it's like I can already imagine going halves with Margiata on a box like this, where it's like, here's all the Nurgle stuff, I keep all the heroes. Also, yeah, I admittedly do not play any of like their like these like standalone board games as
Sure.
well.
Sure.
Right, but like definitely get the value out of like I spent a lot of time on these figures. I wouldn't normally get them in like a regular faction release, so yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah. So obviously, we'll see. I mean, clearly they said in the article, we're going to show you more. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, good. Look forward to seeing it. Yeah. David Canty said Mordheim figures. Yeah, sure. I mean, they're all very classic. They do not,
Yeah,
I'll be honest, like the art of them looks not at all Age of Sigmar, is my honest answer. Even he barely
yeah,
looks Cities of Sigmar. Um,
This is not the Warhammer Weekly is a show where we talk about Age of Sigmar and like game design. We don't need too much of the art history tangents from me over here.
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. You
So,
can
I mean,
find
but
my
it's cool.
opinions on my Instagram.
Sure. I'm like, I'm happy always when we get new, interesting individual sculpts. Most of the time, these things leave me cold. I paint Warhammer figures to use in armies. I paint display figures for competition. Like and the two don't overlap very much because I don't generally enjoy painting like a standard 32 millimeter guy to competition level sometimes, but it has to be something that really appeals to me. Like when I'm painting for competition, I just prefer 54 and 75 and busts and stuff like that. But that all being said, he's fine. It's cool dude.
I'm kind of the
I don't
opposite,
think he
but
looks very fun to paint for like a competition model because he's all closed.
mhm.
He's got like a shield in front of him and his
Yeah,
cloak
yeah,
over
yeah.
him and all that kind of stuff.
He breaks almost every rule. The
Right.
only way he could break the rule even more is if he had the axe like
And
right up
also
against the
crossed
shield.
over his front.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he breaks basically every rule. It's just like, no, thank you. I would
Right.
head swap him. I would probably give him a different weapon so you could change the pose a little bit, so it looks like he's like going this way instead of like having like the move to block, or you have to do something with the cape because otherwise it's just like there's just a red stripe, and yeah.
Well, he's so visible. That's the funny part. And that's like in the potato cam picture, he's like the most visible figure. You can
Yes.
see which one's him from like 8 miles away. Like in the art, they did a little thing in the article where they were like, they had a little box and the arrow came down and they connected it to the art, the 4 heroes we had seen
Yeah.
in the art already. And I'm like, yeah, we know that it's this guy. Thank you. We can tell
Yeah.
this
Right.
giant red cape. But anyways, that's cool.
Yeah.
So good. That's my answer. That's not for yet. Okay, we'll save that. That was it. That's basically the news. All right. With that, I already had my notebook this week, chat. I was ahead of the game. Who remembered this guy? Let's talk about some pick of the week. Marty, what do you want to share with everybody?
I have 1.5 picks because half
Ready.
of it is a self plug. The first one I'd like to talk about is Magic the Gathering. Drink your shot now.
I didn't even bring it up.
Exactly. I thought it would be appropriate, given that it is a popular topic amongst the regular hosts on the show,
Sure.
that a YouTube creator called Saffron Olive did a breakdown of Magic the Gathering's year-on-year, or Hasbro, sorry, year-on-year finances, and he did a deep dive where he basically went back the past like 10 years, and he was explaining how Universes Beyond has become kind of necessary for Hasbro to like exist, and
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
yes, it was a great video. I'll link it down
yeah,
there. Saffron Olive did a wonderful breakdown
yeah,
of why Hasbro as a company is being propped up by Wizards of the Coast and Magic specifically, which is in general responsible for something like 80 to 90% of its actual net profit, which is too much. A single product line should not be responsible for 80 to 90% of your net profit as a company of that size. You're in trouble if that's the case.
And it made me think that I wish we had more coverage of understanding Games Workshop's financial health from an unbiased perspective. Whenever I see videos of this kind talking about Games Workshop or Warhammer, generally it's two things. They're looking for their pet game to be the thing that's like secretly like successful, making money or dominating and pushing the other ones out. Or two, it's saying Games Workshop is in trouble, that like, and it's just generally
Sure.
like the bias is showing through and just not giving us good information about reading this kind of coverage. And it just made me think. So one, it's like Magic. It helped me understand a little bit more about. Hello.
Yes. Oh, she's not barking, so that's a good thing. That's nice.
Oh, just give her a second.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Quiet, Aspen.
You just
3
have to say
weeks
barking.
to the new golden retriever puppy.
Stop.
3 weeks
Stop.
we'll be back to 3, and Vince will have a different co-host on that that Warhammer weekly episode, maybe a puppy will co-host. It'll
Sure.
be better than Tom. I mean, that's all like,
that's
you know.
low bar.
So.
So there you go.
Anyway, all right, hit like and subscribe.
There you go.
Yeah.
Taking a
Hello,
minute.
good to see you again. Yeah.
Everybody hit like
was-
for
it-
random interruptions from dogs. There you go.
Yeah,
That
it
was your
it was
first pick, Marty.
necessary.
What was your second pick?
My second pick was I went to New York Comic Con over the weekend, and I presented a brand new miniature. I kept it secret even from you, what I was working on, and I wanted to talk a little bit about. So for fans of either Apocalypse Now, oh my God, Martin Sheen has been in so many movies and television shows and video games over the decades. He was at Comic-Con. He doesn't normally do conventions, so I commissioned a friend of the show, Asa Sculpts, Katerina. I'm not going to pronounce her last name, but she's Asa Sculpts on all social media platforms, to sculpt me Martin Sheen as Jed Bartlett, as his character from the West Wing show.
Sure.
I painted it over about 3.5 weeks after I got it printed, and had him sign the plinth. I got to talk to him for a few minutes at New York Comic Con about miniature art and how sort of like his character and the show inspired me, and definitely like whenever I used to paint all-nighters like at a GT, I would put the West Wing on. It would help me stay motivated and energized as we got into like 2, 3 a.m. painting like either Stormcast or the Sublight stuff for that one GT I did. And it got me thinking about how we can use miniature art for more than just like a celebration of Warhammer. It made me start thinking about what I could do for something like this in the future,
Sure.
where like painting things from other famous media that inspires us. I had the privilege to talk to Doug Jones at a convention last year, who was quite aware of Warhammer, as opposed to Martin Sheen, who was like hearing about these things for the first time. And he said because the 60th
That does
anniversary
not
of Star
surprise me.
Trek. Yeah. Well, he is. I'm pretty sure Guillermo del Toro has quite if he does not have a Warhammer miniatures collection, he has a Warhammer paints collection. And
Yeah, he collects miniatures as far as I know.
Yeah.
I don't know that he paints
Okay,
them, but yeah.
yeah.
I know he does
Yeah,
some, but
Yeah. And Doug Jones said if I were to paint his character from Star Trek, the 60th anniversary, he'd sign it, and it would be a cool thing like that. I thought it was just cool. It's like we get to celebrate. It's not often that I think our miniature art leaves our space, and I wish that that happened a little bit more often, if that
Sure.
makes sense.
well,
Yeah.
look, in the years that come, my strong belief is that hobbies like what we do here, like with miniature painting, will be something that actually becomes more and more popular for the various and sundry social reasons. And so I think we'll see a good influx over the next 5 years or so of people who are interested in this hobby. And I think that's how you break. I think that'll be fed by a couple of things, not the least of which may be, potential Warhammer 40 or 40K show, but other things like that as well. Just general social stuff. People will be looking for real things they can do. And this is very real. It's not,
Yeah.
you can't, there's no shortcuts to it. You have to just put in the time, which is nice.
And as a closing thought, I really like the opportunity. I haven't really painted a bust in like about 2 years, basically, and getting away from like all of the gaming miniatures and stuff, especially for a subject like effectively a modern, not even historical. It's a man in a suit holding a binder, and it was really I got to use those AK paints. Told me about AK paints at Nova. I bought 2 boxes of them. And I really liked how they worked, and it was a nice.
Yeah, better than
finished
those
product.
awful scale 75s you've been using for a long time. So
Yeah.
anything is improvement at this point.
Yeah.
All right. My pick of the week is going to be, and I just realized how not in frame this guy. I mean, the picture's there, but it's fine. I realized I could shrink him down a little bit so you can actually see the whole thing. Sorry, everybody. Okay. So my pick of the week is going to be, speaking of celebrity crossovers and nerd crap in our hobby, for our boys over at TUP. Well, specifically our boy, Ninjan, who this week on TUP had Rahul Kohli on as his co-host.
Very nice.
So it was a very fun episode. I know he'd been, he's talked to Rahul in the past, and Rahul's a big Warhammer nerd, likes painting the figures and stuff like that. Obviously, he was, the voice of one of the characters in a Space Marine game or whatever. So that's
The Doom one, like the bolt
yeah,
gun.
And the bolt gun one, the bullet hell one, whatever that was. Yeah. I don't remember the name of it. I do not play video games, so I just know that he was that guy. I mean, I know Rahul Kohli because I watched him on iZombie for all the seasons and Midnight Mass and a bunch of other stuff. But at any rate, like he's a great actor. But it was just it was a fun crossover. It was nice. It's good to like just they had a really fun discussion about Warhammer and painting, and especially when you have a crazy schedule and how you like find time for it when you have not much time in your schedule, and how that's okay, and to give yourself grace on that kind of thing. And I think that's exactly like he had such a healthy attitude toward it. And like, it's meant to be fun. I think we, especially for those of us in the hobby a lot, it's easy for us to beat ourselves up. Like, oh, I didn't get enough time at the desk. I didn't get to paint enough. This is a guy who's like constantly got to travel. He's got work. He'll be in another country. He's filming something, right? Whatever. He knows he's not going to always have the time to do it. And, he had just a really nice attitude about it of like, it's my, centering place. I come back to it when I have time away. I do it and I'm happy and it's fun. And then when I can't, I don't. And I don't, get guilty over that. And I was like, what a great, healthy attitude that more of us should adopt. So at any rate, the episode's linked down below. It's a wonderful conversation. Rahul clearly seems like a very chill, awesome guy. So it was a lot of fun. Cygnus says a solid week for John. He got a call up from Mark Gibbons over on Jugs too. Nice. Yeah, that John, he's a famous guy. He also does another podcast with a much less important person, me, and our new episode of Fireball the Gazebo came out this week as well, so you can check that out. We're talking all about healing in role-playing games, so there you go.
I do have one tiny anecdote to add to that. So while I was up talking to Martin Sheen, there's this assistant, and there's also like
he said he's a big fan of Fireball the Gazebo. I figured as much. I'll mention him next time on the show.
The person, there's like a Comic-Con employee who's like scanning your autograph like ticket that you paid for. And I said, well, I was talking about the miniature that I'm a content creator for Warhammer, and I'm pretty sure this person thought I was Ninjon and wanted my picture. She took a selfie with me.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to say about that, but all right.
Yeah, Ninjon I think is quite popular.
He's a friendly guy. He's got a lot of riz, that one. Okay. So let's talk about some hobby time. I'm going to jump over here back to, we'll swap back over to this one, this slide right here. While we talk about some hobby time. What have you been working on there, Marty? What you doing? Why I know what it is. Why did I swap over here when I literally had it teed up? You sent me this thing. There you go. I forgot you sent me the picture for it. I apologize, Marty. I've got the picture. Here it is. Tell us about it.
I'm waiting for
it's a dead guy in a boat.
Yeah, in a boat. So I have decided to come back to Soulblight for a little bit, and I have a GT coming up this weekend. New York Open, I believe it's the first GT for Age of Sigmar held in Manhattan. We found the space for it somehow. It'll be a good time, and I've decided to, after some consultation with a few people around the area, we were just talking about what you were thinking with Rahul, where we can beat ourselves up if we feel like we don't devote enough time to something in our hobby when we think about it so much every day. I've been shifting my priorities a little bit to try and focus a little bit more on the gaming and less on like making sure like I can pick my battles about where and when I show up with like a new army or a significant amount of work put towards a new force. And so for events like the New York Open and upcoming for Everwinter, I will be attending and then judging, like I'll be playing in the tournament trying to like win as many games as possible. But in terms of like the army showcase, I will be I will be helping judge instead. And so I've been just trying to put together some things with like a little bit of paint so I can come back to them later. So this will be Zenithal. I'm going to put some green and blue inks on there to give it like a little bit of a Night Haunt ghost tinge. My vampire, I've only ever entered the Soulblight once. They are my Vampire Vikings army.
Yep.
They only went to one event, and then over the past 5 years, Soul Blight has like either lost parts of that army or things have gotten new miniatures, and so forth. And it's like, how do I rebuild from nothing? And basically, I had Neferata and like a Necromancer, which was the only thing left that was like
Sure.
legal and on the right base size. So this is the new Soul Blight scenery, and I was trying to think about how I could make it themed to my army without having to put like, I don't know, like just crazy amounts of kit bashing and stuff into it. So I made a Viking boat funeral, or a funeral boat. This is the canoe from the Lake Town house, the Hobbit Lake Town
Sure.
house. An Age of Sigmar treasure chest from like some objective marker set. And I have
Yep.
a grave guard. I'm gonna paint the sword and the shield separately once I paint the inside of the boat, and he's gonna have it there. And I felt like that was a nice way to bring a little bit of the theme in a simple way into the scenery. I'm gonna paint it with some inks to give it a ghostly feel. Get everything on the table, and then I have some dire wolves to work on tomorrow. Very simple, like some zenithal inks, etc. And then on the horizon after that, once we were talking before the show about fixing some airbrush parts, I will be working on my main Golden Demon entry for Adepticon next year, which is going to be a Tau robot.
Well, there you go. Very nice. My hobby time has been full steam ahead with the Hellsmiths of Hashut. I'd finished up that little spear unit. And so I also then finished up the Dominator engine. This little guy right here. So he was a lot of fun. And then I also finished up the none of these things are based yet because I'll do the basing separately. But then I also finished up the Death Shrieker rocket. So there you go. These things are so fun to paint.
Have you mostly been using the box art scheme?
No, it's not the box art scheme. Like there's some variants of the thing. Like I am using purples and some kind of like brass type, bronze, coppery type of color.
That's nice.
But yeah, it's very, very different overall. Like I'm using very different placements of the colors and things like that. And yeah, I tried to really pop the fire is obviously the pop color, obviously. As it glows from across the room. And so, yeah, they're a lot of fun. The figs are really easy to put together. They're very fun to paint. They're not super crazy or complicated. They take exactly the right amount of time to make them look nice. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. They're really, really fun, and I look forward to painting more of the army. It's a genuinely great time. So, and I think they come out looking really, really nice. So anyways, it's fun to play a lot with a lot of true metallic metals. What's that?
I will paint that Regiment of Renown for my Mirrored Edge at some point, which is a Demon Smith and 2 of those cannons.
Sure. How will they be based? I have no idea yet. They will be based. They're super based. But I have no idea how they will actually be on bases. I don't know. I got my first game in with them as well this last weekend. So that was fun. Played against Lumineth. My poor Death Shrieker rocket died at the top of one when one of those the stupid wind fox got close to my line and then shot it to death and then left. So that'll happen. But that's okay. It was a good game. I ended up winning, but it was just like it was a very close game. Like it came down to a couple rolls basically at the end of in the last turn. And this little guy is great. I loved the Dominator engine. He was really fun. It made me want to get a second one for sure with the little maces. His ability to split shots. I didn't get to fully go ham. But every time I would be if anybody is familiar with the 1999 movie Blazin' with Fat Joe, there's a little score in there where they just say straight blazing, and every time my little guys are coming to range or the little shooters will start shooting or whatever, just say it's time to start blazing. It's just straight blazing here. And it was good.
First list I wrote. Sorry. The first list I wrote, because I was trying to think about like what the army would look like. It was Uruk, Tar, 2 Demon Smiths, and I think 7 of those Dominator engines. They feel like those are.
No, I ran a very balanced breakfast, classic, like kind of a little bit of everything in there. Things that really impressed me, obviously the Bull Centaurs are really good. Like I was using those. They were Chaos Knights, but that's okay. Like the same base. It's fine. We just need stuff to make it work. And, they were They were interesting, but obviously after they have to kill whatever they fight on the charge, or they're wiped out. Like they don't have any, they can't fight the attrition war. You definitely, as a sub faction, take the one that lets you, that when your characters have 3 demonic power points, they become better casters. Like that is the only choice. I actually played the War Machine one, and even though I had lots of War Machines, I was very sad about it. It just wasn't actually worth it. Having the bonus to like cast and stuff like that was so useful, because I was so often needing to put those points onto like a character just to get the casting bonus and stuff like that, like on Urktar or whatever. But it was really good. I had a lot of fun with the army. It felt very balanced. The shooters, when they go, I had one round where the shooters got to just straight blaze with their neg-3 rend, because they had 3 DPP, and I did a sum total of 0 damage against one of those stupid mountain cows.
Got you down?
No, like I shot everything at one of the stupid mountain cows with neg-3 rend, which he made neg-2, and plus an all-out defense. And then he made all but 2 of it, or 1 of his saves, or 2 of his saves. It was, I think it was 2 saves. And then he rolled, he happened to be in a 5-up ward because he had gotten the spell off, and he just rolled 4 5-ups. So I did 0 damage. It was great.
Was this Brendan playing them?
No, it's different buddy of mine. But anyways, it was a lot of fun. Full thumbs up on the Hellsmiths. I did not find their little silly accounting game they have to play that annoying. It was silly, but it wasn't that annoying. So that's fine. Okay. With that, Marty, are you ready for us to turn to the best centerpiece models in Age of Sigmar? Okay. So we're going to specifically talk about centerpiece models here. We're going to talk about what the coolest ones are. Here's the rules. We're going to evaluate centerpiece models for each army. I made one choice from each main force, exempting a few times where it made sense to have 2, because there was like Auric Warclans, for example, where there's like actually 2 armies in the book or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Or where there's like 2 different centerpieces for the, like where the army is somehow multiple forces shoved together, and they just each have their own centerpiece, and they're completely different types of models. Yeah. So it's not like guy on a monster and guy on a bigger monster or something like that. No. Okay. So I made one choice from each army. Okay. And where I could, again, there was a couple extra people who were floating around, like Archeon floated in because of who he is. Nagash, that kind of stuff. Like I wasn't gonna those big like god characters or god adjacent characters didn't always like clip out the person depending on the nature of the army. Okay. The models, Marty, we're going to evaluate them on 3 criteria. 3. You ready?
Yep. Yes.
Paintability.
I can't see.
Okay, I know you can't, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to This is for the audience, Marty.
Yes, that's true. For our audio listeners.
Correct. Paintability. Centerpiece-ness. I stand behind that. Don't believe that little red squiggle under there. That squiggle is a lie. Centerpiece-ness. Okay. How much, basically, which means how much it actually works as the centerpiece of the army, right? So how aligned it is with the army and how much it makes sense as a centerpiece, and it feels good to have it as the centerpiece of the army. And then finally, cool factor. Just how raw cool that model is. Okay. All of these will be completely objective evaluations, as we know. So there you go. We will weigh them. This is basically the equivalent of an atomic weight. There's no room for error here. This is down to the molecule. And then we will then stack rank these models, meaning top to bottom. Okay. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. Yeah. Forced ranking.
Okay.
All right, audience. This is also the chance for you to make your voice heard as we're going through this. I expect you all to have lots of thoughts on this, I'm sure. Okay. Before we go into this section of the voting, before the voting begins, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, do all those things. Don't forget, Super Chat is there. You want to throw some money at me to make your voice heard? I'm not above being bribed to move your model up. I'm just saying. You do what you want. Okay?
What if I
All
send a
right.
super chat?
What's it? Yeah. Hey, look. I am not above that. So we'll see what happens here. Okay. I'd love to hear an aside on how current Centerpiece models hold up compared to any earlier versions of the sculpts as well. Oh, that's an interesting point. Okay. Okay. All right. Very
I
good.
have a thought. Yeah, but you are the host, so.
I like that discussion. Before we go to the voting, Marty, your thought. Go ahead.
They were still finding their sort of vision, I think, in early Age of Sigmar. So
Sure.
I think certain armies, now that they have cohesive or at least more substantive art design, might be able to carry that forward in their sculpts as opposed to something from earlier, which was more like no boundaries, like Archaon. Just like be bold, be amazing, be unique, be yourself.
Sure.
Whereas something like Abraxia, for example, it's like that's much more in line with what we understand the visual language of Slaves to Darkness to be.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out. Let's find out. Both of them may be here and be able to be voted on. So I guess we'll see. All right. So here is our general ranking that we've got. Our ranking today will go from pure fire at the top to dumpster fire at the bottom. Okay. So this is how what we shall stack everything within. Our competitors are lined along the side of the thing. I'll square this up a little bit. There we go. So it's a little more centered. Here we go. Okay. So let's begin. All right. All these will be placed relative to each other. Okay. So pure fire to dumpster fire. We got to start somewhere. Things will move up and down over the course of it, right? It's because we'll say above or below and so on and so forth. Okay. Let's start with something that is dumb. Here we go. We're going to start with I'll make him a little bigger so everybody can see him for a second before we shrink him back down. We're going to start with the Fire Slayers.
I knew you were going to go there.
Okay.
Yep.
The Rune Sun on Magmadroth or Rune Father or whatever. They're all the same. It doesn't matter. Okay. So, Marty, where would you put this guy between pure fire and dumpster fire as a start, and why? Again, remembering paintability, centerpiece-ness, cool factor. All right, go for it.
I would not put it at the very bottom, but it would be probably in that blue band sort of thing.
Yeah.
It is not a failing grade, but it is not particularly excellent. It does its job in some ways. Paintability, I would say no, because too much of it is the same texture. Having painted one of them back when Stormcast could take them as allies, it is hard to tell the difference between the flame, the spines, the scales, and the box art kind of paints them monochromatically as well. I like the silhouette, the centerpiece-ness, the Fibonacci sort of thing. It does its job in that regard. I think it's a cool pose. It's a cool monster. And then cool factor. It is cool, but it is not amazingly cool, like jumping up and down at E3 to game trailer cool.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. Paintability, I think, is like, it's okay. He's relatively paintable, but he's a lot of the same textures. Nothing really stands out. Got a lot of like just sameness to him. Centerpiece-ness, it's okay. He's not that big. He's not that impressive. It's like one of the little guys. He aligns well enough with the army. Cool factor, ice cold, baby. Ain't got nothing. He's pure dumpster fire in that regard, in my opinion. Like, this guy is the opposite of cool, with his little paw up in the air. Like he's reaching for it, like he's a dog reaching for a tennis ball, like trying to pull a cookie off the countertop. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be, I agree. He's much down here, way closer to dumpster fire. No es bueno. Way down. Okay. Cool. All right. Next guy to grab. Who we grabbing next? I'm trying to see who's the next fun one to get. All right, here we go. We'll grab one close to your heart. Maybe. That would be the man himself, the elf himself, I suppose. The elf on the shelf, or at this case, floating on a wing. Teclis and his
All
little
right.
buddy, whatever his name is, Calathanar, something. I don't know. The weird
Yeah,
sphinxy
it's
model thing.
Selenar. Yeah, it's Selenar. I mean,
I was
you could just
close.
call it the Sphinx. It's a
Sure.
Sphinx. Um, so it should be known, full transparency for the chat, I did not change Selenar at all. I completely made my own Teclis. I made him look
Mhm.
like a Castlevania boss. So clearly, half of this model has problems. Um, I don't
Half of this
know
model
where to
has
go.
problems, and the other half is bad. Continue.
I mean, it's technically three models because they decided to take the Lumineth scenery and make it the base, which adds to other things. So paintability. Do you like feathers? Clearly, I don't know if I can get this personal, but the first Adepticon we came back, and I had the tech list, like the famous tech list, 30 Sentinels, 2 units of 10 Spearmen, and like a Lore Master sort of thing, which was like the epic, famous Lambent Light, I do 40 mortal wounds from across the table sort of thing. And I remember losing a spot in the paint award because Vince was like, Marty, you got it. You can't cheat with feathers. You actually have to do the feathers this way and so forth. Um, but like it looks only good. The default model looks only good when you can see it in person. Two-dimensionally, it is all over the place. There is no focal point because Teclis is off to an angle.
Uh-huh.
Really, he's actually like floating forward. Selenar is fine. I think the Sphinx is fine. It's a nice pose. It's standing on the scenery okay. Paintability, I mean, yeah, if you're up for a challenge, it's fine. Cool factor. Teclis is my favorite character in Warhammer. I get
Sure.
that there are not a lot of us who actually like Teclis over Tyrion. I was really happy that I got to play him at the tournament back after COVID, or I'm sorry, lockdown. Uh, but like the model is not doing the hero as much justice as it could, especially with the YMCA pose and the parachute pants.
Look, this guy's terrible. Okay, so let's get into it. Paintability, I think, is actually like pretty bad. The model is like standing behind a giant rock, partially from like half the way you would view him, a thing you generally never want to do. I bagged on this originally, right?
Mhm.
I think
I
the
remember
thing
I was
himself,
there. I was
yeah,
on the street.
I know.
Yeah.
He's a very samey as far as the texture goes. The bird, so much of him is like same bird texture. It's just boring. And then he himself, as has been pointed out in the chat, he's like, yes, he looks like he's been photoshopped in, right? This is one of the only centerpieces that people have literally like paid to have new versions of created because it's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
His T
Again,
pose, everything about him. This guy is such an epic fail. I really like. It's not that there's not good versions of him because people said, "Well, I've seen
yeah.
conversions, I've seen this and alternate sculpts," and like, yeah, I'm sure
I
that's all
like my
good,
version of him.
right? But I'm not judging any of that. I'm judging the thing they released, which is this thing, right?
Yes.
And honestly, this thing is a mess. It's a mess
Yeah.
from like
Yes.
top to bottom. This thing was
Yes.
universally lambasted when it came out. I don't know anybody who's like, this is great. I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's somebody exists. I'm just saying I don't know them. Right.
Yeah.
So, uh, like, no. Honest answer, this guy, you ready for this, Marty?
Yeah.
Below
Yeah.
the Fire Slayer. That's how bad they are.
I agree. I can concur.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like because I went out of my way to fully replace the Teclis, and I still used bits. Like I still use the weapon, I still use that, I still
Sure.
use some of the dongles and everything, but I made a completely new model. And we're going to get to the model I basically used, I think, when we get to Deepkin, foreshadowing. Because it's just a better looking version of that model. Yeah, so
Exactly. John Vargas had a question for Vince. Is it better to use distilled water or just regular water for a wash? It doesn't really matter, is the short answer, unless you have very, very hard water. That would be the only thing you'd want to watch out for. Like if you live in an area that has super hard water, then that would be a problem. I mean, distilled water has a slight advantage, but it's not really a big deal. So as long as you're not in some crazy hard water area, you're fine. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Okay. I got to grab something that isn't just a mess. All right, let's get something that I think is actually pretty cool. Let's get something newer that's pretty cool. All right. Boom. Prince Vorderai on the new thing, his new Draconith undead mount guy thing.
Yeah.
All right. Where are you living with this guy?
It's pretty high. I am not a fan of how Vordry is like the default Lord on Zombie Dragon. But
Sure,
like
it should have had a
4K,
generic version, obviously, but like,
yeah,
okay, whatever.
right, right. But like the throne is amazing. The lance is pretty cool. The dragon's a great pose. Like a lot of golden demon painters that I am aware of on social media picked up this model, and it's like I want this to be my centerpiece or like large model entry for contests, etc. Really, it has that paintability, it has that cool factor, and as a centerpiece, like it's always tough to do dragons like when you have a long neck, like where do you put the head
Sure.
in relation to like a rider who's always going to be much smaller than some of these monsters, like but I would score it probably in the orange.
I agree. I think this dude is straight. He's straight fire. Yeah, he's really good. How big is the new Prince V compared to the old Velazda? I mean, he's on a bigger base because the mount is bigger. So it's like a 160 versus 130 or whatever, I think.
It's
But
about
at any
like
rate,
10% bigger.
yeah,
And
I
it
agree.
has
Yeah. I think that's right. I agree with you completely. I think this dude rules. I like, your paintability. I honestly think he's not that bad to paint. But like you have a lot of that. The dragon itself is kind of broken up in really interesting ways between all the tattered wings and stuff like that. He's got a really dynamic pose. I think his centerpiece-ness, like especially if you have, again, with Soul Blight, it's tough. This is probably his weakest category because he fits great if your army's like Blood Knights and the sort of skeletons and you paint it all in the same scheme, right? Like that, it'll look well. But if you've got a bunch of like zombies and direwolves, it's like, well, what the heck does this guy have to do with any of that? But again, that's just a factor of like Soul Blight having such a wide range underneath it. I think as a centerpiece within the Soul Blight army, the idea of like a powerful vampire that leads it, he makes 100% sense, right? And cool factor, I mean, like off the charts. Like this dude is dripping with finesse. Okay.
This is definitely one of their more successful centerpieces they've put out in recent years.
Absolutely agreed. We're going to drop him up here for now somewhere pretty high. We'll put him kind of in this area. We'll see where he ends up as we push things up and down. Okay. All right. These are not all going to fit vertically. I'm going to have to make them smaller or something. I know. It's okay. It's what's going to happen. We'll figure it out, guys. We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
You can staircase them a little bit.
Yeah, I'll probably staircase them down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I think it is a really solid improvement on the Terrorgeist. Yes, I really do.
Yeah.
Chicken. Magic chicken. So Zinch, our Lord of Change. Big chicken.
Yeah. Very high. Like when something is a classic, like it's like even when it first came out, it's like, well, this is like an instant sort of like instant classic sort of thing. Like it does everything it needs to do. This is it's not for the faint of heart in terms of paintability because it has so many different textures and fading into flames. Like feathers become flames, metals become like textures, like metal
magic and energy
feather.
and stuff. Yeah.
Right. But it has everything. It has multiple different golden angles. It has all of these different textures, which look amazing. It complements the army. It has a pyramid look, like where all of the models, like you get from horrors Zangor, to maybe your Zangor on discs, and like maybe some ogre characters to this centerpiece. So I think it's like this is our high water mark.
Yeah, I agree. I really like this guy. There's a couple of small things I don't like about him that bother me a lot. His little uh like crotch cloth thing is really actually annoying to and to set up and to paint in the broader color scheme, because of like it's just never going to be balanced, because it's like his only actual cloth on him, and it's weird that he
Yeah.
has it, but they're doing it for composition reasons. Um,
Yeah.
Somebody asked, why didn't I pick Kairos? I mean, I just picked the generic for all the greater demons. You can assume that it's hot swappable with the named one, because they're not relevantly different. Like having a second head is not going to affect the overall feel of the model, is my answer, right? Like the Lord of Change itself, the concept, the big bird. Kairos is a Lord of Change. Not
Yeah.
every Lord of Change is a Kairos. That's why I picked the generic version. Squares and rectangles. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I mean, exactly. I've seen so many amazing paint jobs on these guys. They're awesome. I did one of these for competition. Took him a long time ago. He's still like, I don't know where he is. He's back there somewhere. He's like right there.
You spoke from the perspective of, it's like only someone who has painted this for over 100 hours could be as
Right.
frustrated with something as small as like, yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
And like general, I agree with everything you said. Paintability, it's a tough paint, but man, does it look good. And like he has all the different details. They did a great job of like breaking up things, even though he's got a lot of feathers. He has little icons and flames and stuff like that around. His weapon's a little goofball. I actually kind of hate both of his weapons. They're both kind of silly.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. They just
Something like a
don't.
Lord of Change doesn't need weapons.
Yeah, they look more
Because
like toys that he's carrying than they look like actual weapons. Um,
a Lord of Change appears in Space Marine 2, and you get to kind of see like the whole thing in action, and it does look at like peak like Lego a little bit.
right.
Yeah.
His centerpiece-ness, I think, is great. I think he does absolutely look like he belongs to the head of a Zinj army. Again, for all the reasons you mentioned, especially once they introduce all the different bird people, right? Which is nice. And his cool factor is pretty high. Like he's a neat looking model. He's got a big presence on the table. Is he as cool as Vordrai? Is he up there? No, he's below Vordrai, clearly, right? But he's in that general space. Kind of put him up here for now. There you go. Okay. Awesome. Good. Sound right to you?
Yeah.
Definitely above the Magmadroth, below Vordrai. Okay. Very good. All right. Let's see. Who shall we grab next? Round and round we go. Where we stop on this dork right here. All right. Herp a derp. It's King Broad, the centerpiece of the army of centerpieces. In this case, I did pick King Broad because they're all the same model and he stands apart in some way. I could have just said a son of Behemoth, but whatever. I'm just gonna go first on this one. I hate this guy. I hate his dumb inward pointing legs. I think his big dumb club looks stupid. I think the way he's standing looks stupid. I think the tusk horns on the side of his face look stupid. I think most things about this model look pretty dumb. I think most of the Sons of Behemoth look pretty dumb. I think the only the one that has mostly a good element is the guy with the executioner hood. But he seriously looks like he's got to pee and he's trying to get to the bathroom on time. Like centerpiece-ness, I think, is actually weak because he doesn't stand out enough from the rest of the army. They did not make him special enough from the rest of the Sons. He does just because it's using half the same sprues. They just added like one extra sprue and called it a day. No work was done here. Okay. I agree. The musculature is weird. The details are weird and ugly. He does not have any cool factor. No drip on this guy whatsoever. Right. And the only thing he's okay on is like, and even it's stretched, is paintability. Okay. So my answer to this guy is
this episode should be titled "Two Display Painters Who Play Age of Sigmar Voice Their Grievances."
Sure.
I would put him a little bit higher, put him near the middle, but not above the Magmadroth.
Wow.
I would say that.
Strong.
Yeah, strong, but like just right above him. is standing on top. He has done his broad stomp on the Magmadroth.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So I cannot put him above the Magmadroth. I'm sorry, I can't abide that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I mean, it is your show. You all.
No. I mean, I want to come to consensus. So let's negotiate here. Okay. So that's fine. Is he?
May I give just a quick reasoning?
Sure,
so
please.
I
Go for
think
it.
he. So like first of all, is he the only? No, he's not the only one with a weapon, but he's the only one with a two-handed weapon. He's the only one with a helmet. I think
Technically, the Beast Smasher has the two-handed weapon as well, but he was also introduced along the same time as Broad. So
yes, yeah, he's in the same box. Well, they're all the same box now, but yeah. I think like the introduction of the little red imps is interesting. You're right; he doesn't stand out because it is the same model. I think we Sons of Behemoth need the Imperial Knights treatment, where they need big, medium, and small, so that you can play with those in sort of like some sort of fashion. Which means we probably need a medium, but then King Broad doesn't stand out from the other big ones. So it's like because he uses the same chassis as the other Mega Gargants, which is
just feels like more of the same.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't even qualify because his centerpiece is like 0.
Right, his centerpiece is a 0. But like the paintability and the cool, like I like the unique details they gave him, but he doesn't feel like a king. He feels like a sergeant. He feels like the squad leader, sort of thing. Yeah.
So here's my negotiation with you. Okay.
Yes.
I think he is below the Magmadroth, but above Teclis. How do you feel about that?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
You can scoot right on in there, Rod. There we go. There he is.
Yeah.
He's in the spot. Okay. Very good. Next up. Boom. Cities of Sigmar. Talia Vedra, whatever her last name is, the Lioness of the Park.
Yeah, you got it.
There you go. Yeah. What's your feeling on this beastly lady?
Every time I look at this model, I am reminded of what they took from us and put mana cores in the old world. And I was like, man, I mean, I didn't pay for it. I got it for Frontline Gaming gave me store credit for winning ITC Hobby in 2023. And so I got a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't normally get with because it's like, okay, now I have this box. And then the Slaves to Darkness book for that introduced Chosen. Was that in third? That was in 3rd edition. Punted the Manticores out. And so it's like every time I look at this model, I'm reminded of what they took from us. It is the best mana core they've ever made. Not that they've made too many of them.
It's really good.
Yes, particularly the head. Just very rarely do they sculpt like beast hair very well, and just like that mane on the lion is like that. It doesn't look like a Warhammer model anymore. This looks like someone.
No, the lion's head and face looks so well detailed. It's unbelievably anatomically solid. Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of centerpiece-ness, it's all right.
You just don't see. Hold on, real quick. It's just you just don't see Trug yet. Don't worry, he's there. He's hiding off screen. He'll be coming in a minute. We're working through the list. Okay, keep going, Marty. Sorry.
Cities of Sigmar is already a very busy army. It's kind of like Gene Stealer cults, where even you have kind of a horde, or at least in concept, you have a horde of like troops and like cavalry, and they're all super detailed. They themselves lack strong focal points. And so when you look at this kind of visually busy army, Talia is not really helping bring the eye towards her.
Okay.
Because you're already distracted by all of the visual noise that's in the army itself.
I guess. I mean, she's certainly centerpiece-y. Yeah. She's big. She draws your attention like that. Them wings, compositionally, it's like literally there's 2 massive arrows pointing at the figure on the center, right?
Yes. But I'm also thinking about if I were judging an army at a convention, and it's like the model in context of like the army around it. So it's like, the army is bringing it down. The army is not helping the mini, if that's a factor.
Okay.
Yeah. And I also cool factor. I haven't built the kit yet because the mana core went to Legends. Is she standing on a platform on top of the mana core, or is she
Effectively,
actually
it's like
in
a
a
big
harness?
chair. Yeah, she can't sit down, but she's kind of up at the moment. She's like holding onto
Yeah,
a chain.
I don't like now where it's like we want the model to have a dramatic pose, but also have it be flying on a monster, and it's like I can't imagine that's in any way practical, even for fantasy stuff. I don't like when they're just like on like uh I don't know, a
Well, this is
stage.
where you've decided to draw the line on the realism. Okay, all right, that's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
I mean, here's my argument on her paintability. I think the chair. I will agree with you on this part. I think the chair is kind of stupid. Actually, I think it kind of
Yeah.
looks ugly.
Yeah.
But the rest of it is really good. As we said, I think the wings on this are like really amazing in how they're
Yeah.
sculpted. I think the lion head and like the details on the lion and the muscularity of the lion are like really strong.
Mhm.
Um, the everything on this model, the composition of it's hilarious because it's just a bunch of lines pointing towards Talia. The little feathers are lines pointing down. The tail is literally going, "Hey, she's right here," and then the wings are
Yes.
big lines coming in. Like it's just a very funny thing that that they did all of this right. And at any rate, so paintability I think is actually pretty high. Centerpiece-ness, I'd say she's mid high. I mean, I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. But she does look like she looks like she belongs at the head of a bunch of the human cities people, right? Like she
Yeah.
fits with them. She's not like incongruent in any way, right? I understand what you're saying that like the rest of them don't elevate her, but okay, that's not her fault, right? It would be my argument back, right?
Yeah.
And cool factor super high. Like she is cool. The thing, the way it's like
Mhm.
leaning forward, stalking on the ground, like that kind of thing. Here's my ultimate placement. I'm going to argue, Marty, she's above the Lord of Change, but below Vorderai. What do you think about that?
Um, I would say on par with the Lord of Change.
Remember, we can't be on par. It's got a stacked rank,
All right.
forced
Yeah.
ranking
Yeah. Yeah.
system. So is
I
she
would say
above or
below the
below
Lord,
the Lord of Change?
below the Lord of Change for me.
Wow, below. Okay, well I'm above. Audience, you gotta break our tie here. There it is. So is she above or below the Lord of Change? Make your voice heard, people. We're coming to you. We're coming to you. Okay. Is she above or below the Lord of Change? Let's see what the audience says. Okay. All right. Well, I shrink her down, get her
Mhm.
into size here. Okay. Let's
I
see.
think I think the eyes have it. Oh wait,
Well, we'll
no.
give a moment.
Mhm.
Can you show us the side by side? Sure. Talia, Lord of Change. There you go.
I think by like a 55-45, the aboves have it.
I think the aboves have it. Yes. Okay. Looks like she's above. All right, Lord of Change, you're moving down. You're moving down a step. Talia takes the reins. She's holding that chain. Okay. All right. Cool. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there's like 3 aboves for every 2 belows. I think I can actually do. How do I do this? I want to look. I think there's some way. Oh, I can actually do a poll. I'll figure that out in
Yes.
a
Yeah. I
second.
was.
Next, I've never
Uh-huh.
like done that before, so I don't really know how to do it. But we'll just figure it out live next time we want it. We have a we break even. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Lady O, closest thing Nighthaunt has to a centerpiece. And I'll tell you, I went back and forth pretty hard between her and Kurdos, but I couldn't justify picking two. Okay,
Yeah.
for Nighthaunt because they're all so samey. So I ended up going
Yeah.
with Lady O because she felt the most centerpiecey, but Kurdos is certainly close. But
Yeah.
at any rate, okay. What you feel about Lady O?
Meh. It's inventive. I mean, like the whole range is inventive. I
Okay.
think that the Nighthaunt range overall is like possibly like one of the strongest of all of AOS from like a design perspective because of how they use negative space and make all of these kits work. I think that's really fascinating. Um, but like as a model, she's just not really doing it for me. Like this sort of like corpse bride slowly drifting towards the battlefield. It's thematic. Like, how about this? It's high on cool factor, but she's not very big. She looks like the rest of the army, but doesn't have enough distinctive qualities.
Sure.
And paintability. I hope you have an airbrush because,
Sure.
or every time you put a paintbrush on it, boing, boing, because it has like two tiny contact points that will give you resistance as soon as you put any weight on them.
Sure. Okay, here's my thing. Does mother knoweth you weareth her bed sheets or whatever, right? What was it? What was the line that Iron Man said to Thor right there? And that's my general feeling on the thing. I got a lot of people asking about the black coach in the chat. Okay, so like, there's a bunch of people saying, why not the black coach? I think we need to understand what a centerpiece is, and it's not the black coach. The black coach is like a war machine in the army. It's not meant to be the centerpiece of the army. Okay, like centerpiece means something. I'll bring it in. Here you go. Just we'll do this because I'm a sucker. Okay. Boop. There you go. I'll bring in the black coach. There it is. Okay. I'll put it on here, but I'm gonna tell you, you're not gonna like how I rank it because it's not gonna do well on our thing.
Right.
At any rate,
right.
Lady O is I agree. She's underwhelming, right? As their like centerpiece piece. Okay. There you go. Yes, does mother knoweth you weareth her drapes? There you go, or whatever. Like, I love the sculpting on the face with the skull with the sheet over it is incredible. It's incredible.
Yes.
Okay. And that's it. Right? Her paintability is fine. Like, she's not interesting. I agree with you. It's just like a quick airbrush paint job and whatever. She's mostly just nothing. And she is very springy. Her centerpiece-ness, she doesn't stand out enough. She looks like the rest of the ghosts to some degree.
Not big enough. That's one of the things I would say, like, just Nighthawk overall,
Yeah.
the characters aren't.
She doesn't have the presence.
And so I think you should have picked Kurdos.
And then I don't know that he would be much different. That's a problem. And then her cool factor is okay. Here's my thing. Let's take her. I honestly think she's below Techless.
Okay.
Yep. I'm saying it.
All right.
You got
I'm
a
not going
problem
to
with
fight here.
Okay.
No, I mean, I would be a little bit more generous, but I'm not going to fight you on it.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the black coach, since everybody was so black coach. Okay.
I was confusing them. Reichner. I would have picked Reichner.
Reichner, the Grim Hauler. He's again not like, he's also like super small. I looked at him like,
I at least have that model. Yeah.
Sure.
He's my favorite of the three. Yeah.
I gotcha.
There we go. Yeah.
I thought about him as well. Okay. The black coach. Here's the issue with the black coach. I'll just lay it out, right? One, it's not actually a centerpiece.
Line on this.
Okay. And it's definitely not Ulrak the Drowner. Get out of here, all you Ulrak the Drowner stands. Where are you people coming from with this boatman crap? It's not the centerpiece of the army is random boat guy that's like 140 points. No, he's not. He's like a slightly bigger ghost in a boat. Okay. Centerpiece. You look at the army and you like, this fig should make you want to play the army. A perfect centerpiece. Not only anchors the entire aesthetic of the faction and stands apart as its most impressive single figure, but also looking at it should make you want to play the entire army. It should communicate everything you need about the army and should sell you on playing the force right away. Ain't no way Ulrak the Drowner is that. Get out of here with that nonsense, okay? I'm willing to entertain this black coach stuff because I get it. I get why people are standing the coach. That makes sense to me. But there is no freaking way. Slightly larger ghost in a boat. Give me a break. Okay.
I think, because this is playing on a classic horror image. Like, the Black Coach is from Dracula. Like, this is as classic as it gets.
Sure.
This is the Warhammer version of it, meaning that it is over-detailed, overcompensating, and all over the place.
Agreed.
It would look great as a diorama, but that diorama, to accommodate this size of the thing, would like need to be like basically a Realm of Battleborn tile sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it would look nice when someone did that as an art project. And like you specifically pose it, you paint it under specific lighting, you put someone who's not a bedsheet guy in the coach, like you put an actual person in there with like a
Sure.
face. But we're several steps removed. As a gaming miniature, it is a nightmare. Like,
Agreed.
no thank you. It has it's cursed where it has a golden angle, but that is the only angle where it looks remotely good. Otherwise, it's like a school bus, and it's
Sure.
like, yeah, like I
It's
don't
so
wanna
big,
navigate
it's
a
so
school
unwieldy.
game.
Paintability is very low. Its centerpieceness is like mid at best. But what everybody is going for, the reason people like it, and the thing that I will grant everyone, okay,
Mhm.
is that like its cool factor is very high. Okay.
Yes.
Like this thing is super cool. So I get where the stands are coming from. That's why I went and grabbed the image. Um, and you know, it's because like it is impressive. Like if somebody told me they saw the coach and wanted to play Night Haunt, I'd be like, all right, I get that. I get it. Like the ghost horses kind of pulling this thing, as you said, it's this classic thing. It's very big. It stands out on the table. I hate how much it overhangs its base, but like I get it.
Yes.
It has
Yeah.
a lot of dynamism to it. Cool factor is very high. My honest answer for the black coach, like in where I would rank it, looking at that different scoring, is as a centerpiece model, okay, its singularity would actually probably put it above the Magmadroth, but still below everything up here that's actually cool.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Okay.
I think I stand by just generally the Night Haunt range itself is one of the best looking and best designed miniatures
It's very
ranges
coherent as a
out
range,
of
yeah.
yes. Yes, and like all the negative space, but like individually some of the stuff needs help.
Yep. Now, what I'll say is I'll definitely stand that clearly the black coach absolutely slays Lady O. That is true. I'll grant everybody
Yes.
that. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
Any chaos yet?
Have we done? Well, we did the Lord of
Oh,
Change.
yeah,
He's a chaos model.
yeah, Lord of Change, yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
grab another chaos model for you. All right. Who shall we do from chaos? Let's see. Let's do one jumpy boy. The Bloodthirster. So the Bloodthirster of Corn, I just grabbed one of the random ones. I don't remember which one this is. I can never remember and tell them apart, but I grabbed the one with the big
Yeah.
chain and the axe. Unfettered Fury, I'm going to say. Sure, why not? Blitz says, I hate that Lady O is down there, but it's right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. This is like several of the greater demons were updated within 2 to 3 years of each other, and I
Mhm.
can tell that like just whoever worked on them did a very good job. I would say it scores high on all of the factors. I'm not sure if it's, no pun intended, the GOAT, but it is something that is just worthy of being a benchmark. So like it is the centerpiece. It draws you in with a That's one of the things I don't like about Scarbrand is Scarbrand takes the Bloodthirster and takes a lot of the things that make the Bloodthirster a visually interesting model and throws them out. Like it wants to be in the air, showing you its big muscular wings. It wants to be like
Have a lot of
throwing
motion to it.
yeah, motion,
Mhm.
and that's like I would actually score Scarbrand several tiers below the regular Bloodthirster because of that.
I went back
Um,
and forth because he's the most different from the other ones with the greater demons. Like most of the greater demons, honestly, there's very little difference between
mhm, yeah,
the named guy and the normal one. But Scarbrand, being that his wings are all tattered and he's walking on the ground, he is like
yes,
completely different. But I ended up picking for consistency. I just picked all the normal ones. Okay,
right.
continue.
Yeah, yeah. It is, you know, also it's like Scarbrand is specifically different like narrative. Like Kairos Fate Weaver is just like the best, like even though he's very important in Warhammer lore, he is just a bit like a better Lord of Change. Galaxy is also like not too different. So like Scarbrand has to should have almost been his own kit, but I understand why it did that. But yeah, just for the Bloodthirster, centerpiece-ness, yes. Paintability, yes. All of the
Sure.
right balance of textures are there, and cool factor. It is you like Warhammer for a reason. Some of the people who like Warhammer for a reason like this. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. This guy's tough. Okay. He's really tough. Let me see if we can break it down. I see a lot of different opinions here in the chat. I'm watching the chat here. Okay. And I think I agree with what Omega just said, that he's the weakest of the greater demon models. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I would agree with that.
He is the problem with this guy is that, one, he actually isn't very visually compelling, right? Like, he's very dynamic from his pose, but he himself is kind of boring. Like, his armor isn't that interesting. He doesn't have like that much going on. The other ones all have like a lot of interesting things going on in different ways. Like the Lord of Change has all the magic and the little, like the Zinchian doodads. The Keeper has all of her stuff going on. We'll talk about later. And Rodigus, or not Rodigus, sorry, the Great Unclean one has all the pustules and boils and guts and crap like that, right? This dude is really pretty standard. He's not, his wings are good, but they're not great. He feels like what he is, an 11-year-old sculpt, right?
Yeah. If I may, and
Yeah.
I think you touched on it with the armor. When a miniature, I think a lot of War Machine miniatures suffer from this, where you have an equal distribution of textures.
Yeah.
The armor, the skin, the leather, if all of these are effectively equal in their coverage on the miniature, no one piece stands out. And this is further hindered by what is the classic Khorne color scheme, which is like these reds and like cold blacks and like rusty silver, and that just and of course brass.
Sure.
All of that doesn't really allow for a breakout color, and so it all just becomes one mass visually. Like the silhouette is great, but once you look at the component parts, it disappears.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and then we can't leave this without him doing his little the jumpy pose. Like, we cannot we cannot forget the jumpy pose, right? Oh, there you go. Yeah, everybody. Somebody said the stream went all weird. Yeah, there was some issue YouTube, 3 minutes ago.
YouTube for I was about to say YouTube for the past 2 hours, there was a huge outage or something. I'm glad we're on the internet at all. But I think it's on YouTube. It's not on us.
Right, because say I'm looking at my internet and it's fine the whole time. But yes, it looks like it's okay now if you just refresh. Everything from the signal came back. Okay, so let's rank him. I'm gonna say he's definitely below the Lord of Change. Honestly, I'm gonna say he's below the Black Coach. Maybe the coach is gonna come out looking, I bet by the end of this, pretty good. But I think he's above the Magmadroth.
Yeah. I would put him. I think we have a nice empty slot right now, and the Bloodthirster deserves to go in that empty slot.
So you want him above the Black Coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Bloodthirster has more golden angles than the Black Coach does. Which is why I vote yay.
Oh, that's tough. Okay. We're sitting here on the line again. All right, audience. Let's go. Is he above or below the coach? I'm not doing the poll. Just everybody say it. Above or below coach? Above or below? Just knock it into the comments there real quick. Let's go. I'll work on the poll next time.
No offense to Anthony Magro.
It's all good. Okay. Above coach, disregard the death players. They don't deserve respect. Below. I think this model is bad.
Oof.
Okay.
The nays have it.
All right. Marty, I am sad to say that I am afraid it is going to have to go below the Black
Yeah,
Coach.
I'm 0 for 2 for being overruled by the people of Rome.
You got to be a man of the people,
Um,
Marty. That's the problem. You're a coastal elite. That's the issue. Um,
exactly. I have come from Sicily or whatever it was called in ancient times.
okay. So there he goes. We'll figure out how to stack these a little more smartly in a moment. For now, I'll also extend this all the way up and down. That'll give me more room to play with. Okay. There we go. Now we got the whole run. Got the whole run to play with. Still gonna have to find another trick, but we all knew this was coming. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, let's just get this out of the way now. Let's just rip off the band-aid, shall we? Here he is, folks. You know him. You love him. You couldn't wait for him. You've been asking this whole time. But guys, when are we gonna get to Kragnos? He's here. Special K. So, Kragnos. He's a centaur guy. Paintability.
Yeah.
It's actually fun. He's a good paint.
Yeah.
The muscularity is really good. The sculptor is excellent at doing muscle work. I like all of that. Like all of his little nuances and veins and stuff like that are very like anatomically strong. Centerpiece-ness, 0%, -10%. He scores less than 0. I don't know. Right? Because
Yeah, that keyword is like making him like lose entire double-digit percentage points.
right.
Why is this not Beast Chaos model?
And like, I mean, like again, his centerpiece-ness is just it does not exist. Okay.
Yeah.
And because there's no army that he looks like he belongs in. It just doesn't.
Right.
If he had his own army, if he was like the king of some centaur army, right? And there was like a bunch of people who were like centaurs but not as big as him, and he was like their king, you know, I'd be like, okay, it's fine. I agree. Somebody said herpaderp face. Yes, his face definitely has some issues.
Yeah, it's like the mouth is just like Gendy Tartakovsky monster.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem.
I think the miniature itself is excellent. Like I think the pose is great. But yeah, there's art design questions. Like, have you heard of a video game called Shadow of the Colossus? It's a
Yeah, I
classic
know
like
it.
PS2 game.
Yeah.
All of the gear that they put on this miniature looks like it's an aesthetic that isn't in Warhammer. Like it's very rare that they do something like that, and it looks like it's from Shadow of the Colossus instead. And it's like this quasi Indonesian like patina with like kind of a little bit of that like Mayan stuff, and it's just like, what is this? Like this is. They didn't even want to make it vaguely like kind of orky or like the ogres. They put a little totem by the rock at the bottom of the base to say, look, orcs and ogres and goblins revere him. See? And even as a beast, if this were a Beast of Chaos miniature, we'd still have the same problems where his gear does not look like it belongs in Chaos because it is too.
I want to answer a question real quick here. So, because something you just nodded toward, and it's come up in the chat a little bit. Cole Vinmark said, "Heck, he had an army. They took the army away. This has to be repurposed from Beast of Chaos." I want to be clear about it. Something. It is not. It's not repurposed from Beast of Chaos. I'm going to put an end to this rumor right now. Okay. This fig, I know the full backstory of this fig on like complete authority. From the design brief forward, he was always this and meant to be exactly what he was. Okay. He was not repurposed from anything else. From his initial art to the sculpting to his release, he was singularly this. Okay. He was never intended to be a Beast of Chaos model. He was not repurposed from any other purpose. He was always going to be this destruction guy, this thing from from conception on. Okay, like you can take that to the absolute bank. And it's insane to me that that's true, but it is true.
And I think you can tell because if this were a Chaos model, design Beasts of Chaos are creatures of entropy, and there's too much about this miniature that reads like it is ordered, and like yeah, it's like someone said it's like his in his lore, it's like the dragons which became buddies of the Stormcast
Sure.
destroyed his civilization, and so it's like basically this third party sort of centaur race that was not beasts of chaos, and he's supposed to be the last of his kind. And if he were a repurposed Beastman army, the horns would look different. There would probably be more like, because they do have some mutations present in the Beasts of Chaos miniatures, because they're supposed to be a little bit more unordered,
Sure. Yeah.
wild, and
Yeah. 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 I'm with
this
you.
is right, and it's like yeah, this is. I mean, it's like yeah, it makes sense that this is a homeless guy, like, literally, like his the like all that was his identity has been taken from him. So like, why is he then king of the orcs?
I understand. All right. Here's my vote. I think he is below. Uh, he's below Teclis, but above Ladio.
I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, like it is a good so again we there are some points for the excellent silhouette. I
Sure.
do not agree with the people who say that the rock makes him look ugly. I like this is Warhammer. You can't have everybody be like ultra dynamic because we need contact points to the base somehow. And so he's standing on this pride rock sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's okay. I like it. But that's the only thing it has going for it.
Yep. Okay. So there we go. I think we all feel good about that. All right. Next up, Abraxia. There you go. She's one of the newest entries in here. Don't worry, I have Archeon as well. But like Archeon, basically I grabbed 2 from here because Archeon was like a bonus entry, right? Because at various times he's kind of his own thing, just like Kragnos or whatever, right? Or Nagash. I understand technically he only shows up in Slaves to Darkness anymore, but still. And I went back and forth between she and Be'lakor. Okay. But I thought she had more of a fighting chance than Be'lakor.
Interesting. Yeah, I like her a lot less than Be'lakor.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah, yeah. She has. It's hard when miniatures themselves are the Fibonacci circle, like because it
Sure.
is.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is-
She is the
it
Nautilus.
is.
Yes.
Yeah, she is that. But it's a little too like she feels like a custom lieutenant. Like, someone said something about
Just reading all the comments. It's very good.
yeah.
Solid.
I saw you laugh, and I was like, "Wait, what are the comments saying now?" Oh God. The mount is a cool monster, but the armor is uninspired. It looks a little too similar to the armor which is on the other scaly monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked maybe a little bit of a different head. Maybe that would have been a place like you could go a little crazier. It just looks like a big lizard, and we already have that. It's just a bigger Karkadrak, is just what I read. Just and Abraxia, she has the shield in front, and that covers up a lot of her normally pretty good pose. She's not large enough to stand out from the other miniatures, so centerpiece ability is pretty low. Cool factor is a 7. And paintability, sure, 10. It's easy to paint.
Yeah, I think her biggest problem is she is a little mid. Like that's kind of what you were signaling toward there with a lot of it. Like I think she's cool. She's not huge, but she aligns better with S2D. Like the reason I didn't pick Be'lakor is because he's kind of meant to be apart from the army, right? Like he's not actually like he's only like he's not actually meant to be the centerpiece of an S2D army. He's meant to be the centerpiece of the Legion of the First Prince army because he's in rebellion from that army, right?
Yeah.
but she really does align quite well with the general aesthetic of Slaves of Darkness, right? So, like, I think centerpieceness, she's pretty strong. She certainly looks like she belongs in the army. Like, she would be the one leading it. Like, if I set up all of, if I had like a Chaos Warriors and unit of Chaos Knights and Varangard and some Chosen, and then put her in the middle of the table and like a couple other, hero type dudes around, right? And said, who's in charge of this army?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be a question.
Yeah. I have the model. I've been working on it on and off because I do need to build my own version of it at some point. And it's just I feel like the model could have been bigger. I really do hold a grudge like a dwarf about us losing manticores. Because it's
Yeah.
like this could have been a manticore lord.
Right.
And she's too small. She's too small for me to use the Talia model in place of that because the manticore model's larger than her. And so I can't just use the manticore as the proxy for Abraxia as much as I would prefer that.
Yeah, I think her cool factor's pretty high. I mean, I don't know what her spear does, but I bet it's really good. Just because of how
you'd
cool
have
that
to
look is.
You're gonna have to watch a Warhammer preview a few times to figure that out.
Yeah. But like all in all, I would rate her as fairly mid. I'm gonna say like above the Black Coach, but below the Lord of Change is probably my general feeling. Like,
Yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm
feeling
feeling
that?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's kind of scoot these guys around here.
Mhm.
All right, cool. There we go. Abraxia. Okay. Yeah. Archeon will be here. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. I see some people arguing below Coach. That's fine. But like I think we're all I could go both directions, but I think in the end, I think she's more fitting to the rest of the army. Like her centerpieceness carries her up above there. Okay. All right. Next one. Here we go. I grabbed one of the Eidolons as the centerpiece, not the turtle.
Yeah.
For the same reason I didn't grab the Coach. Because the Eidolon is like feels like the centerpiece of the army to me. I know the turtle is bigger, wasn't just on size, right? The Eidolon to me feels like it sort of captures the majesty of the IDK. Like that's what it's meant to be. Sort of the Great Wave, iconography in here, all of that kind of stuff. So
I'm very glad you picked the Eidolon.
yeah, and like I believe I grabbed the one of the Storm, but I mean, it could be either one. Like it doesn't actually matter.
This is, in my opinion, one of the best miniatures in the game. Like in terms of just like look and feel. I'm only sad that it is an Eidolon and not a specific person. Like it's supposed to be like this Gestalt, like soul construct thing. But like the armor, the water wave, like all of it is just max points for me. Like centerpieceness, paintability, like even if you use contrast paints, it is relatively easy to paint like that water effect with just contrast over something like white, and just the Baroque armor with all of those hard ridges and scales can be done amazingly by a display painter and simply by a beginner painter. Cool factor 100%. Centerpieceness 2000%.
Yeah, I mean, I think if there's anything detracting from this guy, it's that he honestly could be a little bigger in reference to his cape. I feel like they made him just slightly too small. Like if I could start over, I would have grabbed the original ZCAD and just been like, I would have increased his size by about 10%. Okay. Like his physical body. It's a small knit. And like a lot of him is, he's kind of samey-ish looking with his various armor and stuff, but like it's all really clean and good looking. His weapons look good. The detail on the armor looks amazing. The big giant wave is so dynamic, right? As this like long cloak. Okay.
And for people, this is my techless. I made this model into techless for my techless miniature. This is
But like again, I do think that he's got some weaknesses. Certainly, I think his paintability very high for real the reasons you said. His centerpieceness strong, not overwhelming. He feels like he belongs at the head of a sea army, but he doesn't incredibly well fit in with the rest of his force. Right? Like he is something apart, but still he belongs, but he's okay. Right? Cool factor, amazing. Like super cool. This dude is like absolutely cool as, right?
Yeah.
So to me, where I would come down with him is he's above the Lord of Change, but just below Talia. I think Talia is a more dynamic fig than him.
Yeah. I can concur.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see some people arguing for between Vorderai and Talia. Okay.
Because we are not allowed to give ties here. We must pick.
We must pick. We
And
must stack rank.
And I am okay with putting the Manticore over Watercape.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's where I think we're gonna stick him. I get it. I get the wish, the will to put him above Talia. I think he's just slightly below though. Just like
I think we're
the size, the
quibbling-
scope of the model, the alignment with the rest of the army. The other factors are weighing him down a little bit.
I think we're quibbling over the fact that it's a high score. Like
it's a very high score.
It's a good
He's
model.
doing great.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. His biggest weakness is being overshadowed by the turtle. Nice.
And just one note for you, Vince.
Yeah.
Most of the Primarchs and God models in this game post, like I would say 2015, are effectively in 54 mil scale,
Sure.
which is probably why the Eidolon feels small compared to the Watercape.
He is a little bigger, but still, nonetheless, I get it. All right, Trug. Big Trug, the troll.
It is hard to score models low that have won a Slayer sword. But as someone who paints elves, knights, and kind of sort of space marines, trolls are not my thing. It's like that classic Warhammer thing where we're going to take something normal and then add wacky stuff like the whole shrine on the back of his. Is it on his head or on his back or?
Yes.
Yeah. And it's also the first time we're seeing something where it's specifically like a Seraphon thing on like the troll.
I mean, sort of. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like an ancient. It's an ancient stone magical menhir thing, right? Yes.
Yeah. The face is a little like I'm not wild about it.
It's a little goofy.
It doesn't look like any of the other trolls. Like I would have preferred maybe like if it was like a little bit more like the rock guts. And troll weapons always look bad to me because they are makeshift and they are nothing. It is like a rock and sticks and twigs and like
a weird shell for no reason. Yes.
Yeah. So, centerpiece-ness. I mean, he is a big troll. He belongs there. If you wanted the troll of trolls, here he is. Paintability. Sure. It's all like skin and like rough. But hey, someone did it. And cool factor. I don't like trolls.
But he's pretty cool. I mean, like, stepping outside ourselves, he's pretty cool. Don't worry, Lichfinder General and other people who mentioned the Mangler Squig. I broke my rules here with goblins because I felt the goblins and the trolls were like really two completely separate armies. So I did grab the Loon Boss on Mangler as well. We'll get to him in a moment.
Yeah. There are cooler Gits models than this model to me.
All right, here's my argument with him. I think he's kind of a mess. Like he's a very cool model. Yeah. Paintability wise, he's just like kind of a mess. Like he's got a really, really hard to read silhouette. When you look at him, it's like, wait, what's his head? What are his horns? What's the thing that's on his back? Like he has like a big weird beard hanging down for no reason. Like he's just absolutely a mess. Okay.
But someone did it.
He just has everything going on. There's like roots and moss and horns and this giant shrine and mud and a beard and his nose above his eyeballs and everything else, like, and his weird weapon. He's a very cool model. Like he is kind of small comparatively, right? But oh boy, it's like it's rough. My general feeling with him is that like it's cool, but he's like okay. I know there's a lot of Trug stands that came out shouting. I get it.
Yeah.
But this
Is he
thing,
better
like
than King Broad?
paintability, very low. Centerpieceness of a troll army, pretty high. I'll give him that. He looks like King Troll. So like, okay. Like he's got that centerpieceness, good. And cool factor, yeah, decent. He's a pretty cool model. Pretty cool guy. Okay.
Would you put it above Broad?
Yes, I would put it above Broad. I would put it above the Magmadroth. I would put it above the Bloodthirster, and that's where I would stop.
Okay. Yeah.
Like as he climbs up, that feels right to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It is not high, but he is not failing. He is not failing where others have failed before him.
Right.
Yeah.
Oops. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We haven't done either of your favorites yet.
Well, I mean, we're just jumping around. We're getting to stuff. We're getting to stuff. All right, let's keep moving. We got a lot to cover. Let's do Great Unclean One. Big Great Unclean One. Under the Black Coach. Well, thanks a lot. The kids are crying now.
Guo, I don't like Nurgle. I think famously neither of us are known.
No,
for
I'm a
painting
big
girls
Nurgle
with
hater.
Yeah,
But this model has absolute drip. This guy is incredible.
Originally, when I saw it previewed, I think it was like clearly calling back to the Forge World version, but the Forge World version has problems that this one learned from, where all of the decay and disease on the body has different visual interest, which complements the whole. Even though it is effectively a giant ball, it has each aspect of it complements each other. There are lines. There are texture matching and stuff like that. I don't like that the head is set into the body, but it's like this is again one of the iconic images of Warhammer. This is on album covers, basically. This is on
Yeah,
the
I mean,
classic,
100%. Like, dude, this guy's he's
yeah.
one of the most classic sort of like greater demon images, period.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
I think this guy's great. Like all the details, little worms scrabbling out of his flesh, his boils and pustules and stuff like that. All the exposed flesh and muscle. He's got great like alternate faces just on the normal model. Like he has good options. You know, I'm talking about like that. I'm not even talking about like, Rodigus or something, just the normal model. His weapon options are all interesting. Like here he has the sword and flail, but they look cool. For being a very uni-textured model, he's so paintable and you can do so many things with him and make him look so interesting. He's just a great, like, he's just a great model for painting. Centerpiece wise, he absolutely rocks as the centerpiece of the Nurgle Force. Like he looks very in line with all the demons. He looks like he absolutely belongs. He even has the same like general body shape as like the Blight Kings and the Blight Lords and stuff like that. So he looks like he belongs, right? They've all kind of got that like, big belly kind of shape, right? And so to me, and cool factors, obviously, as you said, like super high. To me, he's definitely above the Lord of Change. Like there's no question about that. He is a more iconic greater demon, right?
Yeah.
And I'd probably put him like right below the Eidolon. Like I think that's where I'd land him. What do you feel about that?
It's definitely in that region of like Talia and the Eidolon are competing with it. So I'm just trying to think of like what would actually top like Vordry. But a Great Unclean One probably doesn't do it. So I think it's appropriate where it stays.
All right, let's do it this way. We got a lot of people saying above the Eidolon. All right, if you want him above the Eidolon, make your voice heard right now. If you want him above or below the Eidolon, chat, let's hear it. And then Marty, go ahead. What are you thinking?
I was about to say I was on the fence. I could see that happening. I could see if you.
So you're a vote for above, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what the chat says. I get that. I myself went back and forth on it. So, okay. Let's see. Above, and I say that as someone who loathes Nurgle.
Yeah, we both do. Like
Yeah.
people have been probably bugging us for years.
Okay.
It's like, when are you gonna paint something gross?
The
Like, no,
chat
thank
has
you.
spoken. Everybody is above the Eidolon. Well, chat, you win. There he goes.
Yeah.
Above the Eidolon. Marty, you can notch a win on the board. There you go.
There we go.
The chat has agreed with you. He's up there. All right. Okay. All right. Next up. Crazy or Krondus, if you prefer, but it's whatever. It's the same dragon. The big dragon from Stormcast, right? Crazy Krondus. I grabbed Crazy, but I could have grabbed Krondus just as much.
I don't like him.
You said you don't like him, or you do?
I do not. I do not like these dragon models.
Agreed.
I don't know what they're doing with the wings. The wings are
bad,
sculpted. Yeah, like the whole Draconith range, like the Stormdrake Guard, and these have a wing texture which does not match anything else.
Yep.
Like even the greater demons like have some sort of like consistency in what wings are supposed to look like for leathery wings. These are just like this weird paper mache texture. This it's a very Disney pose where like they're almost like pointing, or they're getting ready to do like the Batman thing.
Yes,
where he puts
they're doing the Batman thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. And the head is too small. The head is too small. Like, it's a non-snout. It's like oh god, what's the it looks like the Never-Ending Story dragon a little bit.
Sure, the Luck Dragon.
Which is like, no, I don't want like my and like Karazai at least looks a little better in terms of like it looks a little bit more wild. Krondus, it's like almost looks a little bit like Beauty and the Beast, where it's like they stuffed all of the beast into a suit, and he's like has like kind of stilted because he can't move his arms because the clothing is smaller than him. And just like when they put the extra armor on Krondus, it just looks even worse. It's like, no, thank you. Centerpiece ability, no. Like, unless even when you're running a Stormdrake Guard army, it's just like on the ground, and they are not. So the dragons are above your Centerpiece, which is not what you want. Paint ability, yeah, sure, dry brush it. And then cool factor, solid 5.
Okay. Fancy Teeth, thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. You said you could even say they are bad dragons. Yes, indeed. All right, here's my read on this dude. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. It's much appreciated. Help support the show. Throw a super chat at us. Okay, so my simple answer. I agree with everything you said, Marty. Obviously, I changed this guy so much when I painted mine for my Ratcast, right? Like, I altered everything about this model, which I think says everything, which I think speaks volumes, right?
Yes.
And I thought about grabbing like Ionis or something instead. Yeah. Okay. But these guys are just like, clearly they wanted them to be the centerpieces of Stormcast, right? They wanted this. That's what they were launching these things to be, right?
Yes. They came out at the launch of 3rd edition. Ionis did not.
Right. And so, like, it felt like that's what they were, but I think they're just generally a failure. From the Anthro head to all of that. Somebody asked, like, what's like a good dragon to the two of us? Well, the mount under Vordrai, that would be a good one, right? Like, that's a good dragon. But, like, I think Warhammer in general has, like, a lot of very bad dragons. Yes, sculpted is really my honest answer. If you look at, like, the one that Squidmar put out where it's, like, wrapping around the stone or whatever, like his model.
Yeah.
That's like
Pararutic dragons.
Yeah. Like way better. Okay. So my answer is this guy is like above the Bloodthirster, but below Trug.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I can see
like
that.
Trug is just a better miniature by far than this guy, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. It's because it's like Ionis.
Yeah, the new Cathay dragon. Somebody said that is a good dragon. Yes, the new Cathay dragon is cool.
Yeah.
She's cool.
Oddly enough, the best dragon is where they keep the S shape but lose the wings. Because a history lesson for people who have not been in the hobby for very long or long enough to remember that most Warhammer dragons and Warhammer Fantasy used the same S-shape plastic mixed with
Sure.
metal.
Yeah. Plastic wings, metal
Uh-huh.
body, classic. I've still got one of them. I still have the Wood Elf one. He's like out there in the Warhammer room. Okay, cool. Next up, the Ironclad, the KO Centerpiece, big boat, toot toot. All right, let me grab this one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, paintability. Okay. It's fine. It's a scale model project, not a painting project. It's very different, right? It's a big vehicle. I like it because it is a big vehicle centerpiece. I wish we had more vehicle-ish centerpieces. Like the Black Coach isn't really a vehicle. I know but they're both war machines, but like, one is a little more classic than the other. I don't like the face front of the Ironclad. I kind of super hate it. Their balloon aesthetic that they have is fine. I could I could see I could see them having gone with a different aesthetic. I've seen lots of people kit bash different aesthetics on there. But again, it's fine. The guns and stuff aren't big enough. I wish it had bigger guns. That's one of my biggest problems with it. Like I want this thing to have some real cannons on it, and all the guns always feel kind of weak and small comparatively. And like as a centerpiece, it works. It anchors the army well. Okay, being a big boat, especially because it drags a lot of like everybody else with it. But the problem is it also gets lost amongst like the frigate. It's not that much bigger than the frigate. I think one of the places they went wrong here is they just didn't make this thing big enough. It should have felt way bigger, right?
This is the only boat with a masthead, and it has like the dwarf face on it, which I think works. Like if you look at a regular frigate, it doesn't have anything on the front to make it like have that sort of dwarf flavor to it.
Sure.
Because I think dwarves in Warhammer are at their best when because even the Votan in 40K remember to put like their face with like the stern eyes and like the beard and the yawning mouth on a lot of their motifs.
Sure.
And I think that's something that can really have imposing visual language. There are people who like Jules Verne and like the Chrysler Building Art Deco and speaks to them. I would it is the centerpiece. It's cool, but like I would wish, because one of the things I think they did right with the Cathay balloon is they made the crew very
interesting, expressive,
interesting,
just generally
yes,
cool.
expressive.
Yeah, you like that they are actually part of the story, whereas the crew here just gets completely lost. Yes.
Right. I barely I sometimes when I go to events I don't see people put the crew
people don't even
on
put
at
the
all.
crew on it. Yeah, because you don't need it. It doesn't feel like it's needed.
Yeah. Right. And they don't really add anything. And so it's like what I would like to see one of these miniatures if they make more boats in the future that they do something with the crew to make them look nice.
I will give a special shout out to the guy hanging off the side. We can't see him in this picture. He's around the other side, but the dude hanging off actually like repairing the boat is cool. Yeah, I agree with all that. Fancy Teeth, thank you for the super chat. I figured out Stormcast dragons are from Aragon. Yeah, that sounds right. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Face
with the short snout that I think that's exactly right. Tapers immediately. Yeah.
Okay. I think this guy, the Ironclad, where I would put him, above Crazy, below Trug. How do you feel about that?
Sure.
Yeah?
I would put it above Trug, but I'm not really going to fight over it because it's a boat, not a person.
Sure. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll kind of scoot some stuff around here. All right. Grab the wrong thing. As always, keep doing that. There we go. Okay. Great. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. We'll do a very sad one. The Frost Lord on Stonehorn. Oh, our most aging centerpiece. The ogres, this is the best they could do.
These were so amazing when I saw them in White
In
Dwarf for the first time.
2004. 6, whenever they launched.
I know Ogres got all of their monsters in 8th edition. They were the second book in 8th edition. You want to know how I remember
I'm joking.
this?
The army, the Ogre book originally came out in 06, and then, yes, they got their monsters in 8th.
Yes. Tomb Kings were the first 8th edition book, and then Ogres had partial color, and then the third book was Empire, and that was the first Warhammer Fantasy book with all of the art being in full color, which was really bizarre. I think that was just like when Games Workshop decided to spend money printing army books in full color, which was bizarre. But yeah, these things, how times have changed. Like, they have an imposing silhouette. They're very cool. The models on top, they retain that older kit, like, lost a little bit of customization over time as Games Workshop wants to sell us specific art pieces rather than customizable model kits. And so I feel like there's so much that you can do with the options for the riders to make them look interesting without leaving the box. But they're still simple compared to what we have now. Centerpiece wise, yes. Cool, very much yes. The Thunder Tusk, yes. Stonehorn, no. Sorry, other way around. Stonehorn, yes. Thunder Tusk, no, because the Thunder Tusk isn't really roaring.
You just like, literally summed it up right there. Like, I'm just going to jump in and say there it was. There's the problem. Like, centerpiece-ness is just non-existent. He looks like everybody else. He looks like every other ogre. He's not particularly larger. He's not particularly different. You can have a whole army of these guys, and it's like, which one's the general? I can't even tell. Okay, there's no, like, especially since you can have a whole army of, like, almost literally this guy. Okay? I agree. The head on the Stonehorn is, like, amazing. It's so great. The roar, the face, the big horns. It's like a very impressive thing. It's very stocky. It's got, like, heft to it, which I appreciate. Paintability-wise, it's actually quite nice. As a model, they did a good job of, like, breaking up the fur and stuff like that, right? But the ogre, the actual guy on top, is so supremely uninspiring, and over itself is just boring. Now, here's what I'll say. Okay, I think despite this guy's age, he's one of the oldest models on the list, if not the oldest model on the list. Right? I think he's still he's better than Teclis. I'll give him that. Yeah. And honestly, I think he's better than King Broad. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he's like right below the Magmadroth is where he comes in.
I do not believe that this is below the Magmadroth. I'm going to stand on that.
Wow. Okay. So you want him? Is he below the Bloodthirster for you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I would not. Yeah.
So you're above Bloodthirster, or sorry, above Magmadroth, below Bloodthirster. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. I can go with that. But will audience, above or below the Magmadroth? Above or below the Magmadroth? That's the question, audience. Hit us up. Where's your vote? Make your voice heard. Above or below the Magmadroth? Okay. I'll shrink him down and I'll start moving stuff while we get our votes in. Okay.
Come on, people of Rome, stand by your console. That was it. Yeah.
Oh, the votes are coming in strong.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody agrees with you, Marty. There you go.
Yeah, get the salamander out of here.
Salamander's out of here. He's an oldie but a goodie. He manages to stay. Okay. Here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and do a little more of God bless it. All right. We'll do a little more of this type of action here. We're gonna just get a little creative. We're just gonna start
all of this real estate on the other side of the graph.
Hey, look, man. Okay, we're doing what we're doing here.
There we go.
We got some. See, there you go. We got our little stair steppies now. Now we're good. Okay, now I only have to move like 80,000 things if I want to move put one of them in. All right, above definitely the winner. It's okay. Such is life.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you get for choosing 30 things.
I know. All right, let's keep going because we got a lot to get through.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is technically the Mega Boss on Maw Crusher, but you could just easily call it Gordrak. Again, I picked like just the regular Mega Boss, but whatever. Yeah, Mega Boss on Maw Crusher, the centerpiece of the Iron Jaws. How you? Let me take the lead on this one. This is obviously my guy here. Okay. Paintability, excellent. There's so much stuff you can do with this guy for a simple thing. He actually has quite a lot going on. He's like a very paintable, very approachable fig, but he's a cabbage. He is a cabbage. He looks like a cabbage. That's what he is, right? I mean, it's certainly a big, imposing, muscular thing. His centerpiece-ness is very strong. He absolutely, like, that orc is legitimately bigger than the other orcs. If you put him down, he's bigger than all the other orcs. Like, he is bigger than an art boy, bigger than a brute, bigger than a mega. Like, he's even slightly larger than the normal mega boss. Okay, great. Okay. Coolness. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. He's not great. It's not like an amazing fig, right? But he's pretty cool. Okay. So overall, I think he scores pretty high, but not super high. He's not up in like the top tier. Okay. My general thought on him, where I'd want to put him, Marty, okay, is like right below Abraxia, but above the coach. That's where I feel like he belongs. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, basically put him dead, like almost in our middle.
Kind of, yeah. He's on this curve right here, right?
Yeah.
So, in my mind, he's like here, and the coach, stretched him out.
Yeah.
The coach is like there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I don't like the model. I don't like the pose or the concept of it. I get that it's replacing the orc on Wyvern.
Sure.
But like, yeah, I don't like the head. I don't like the pose. But that's just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're getting down. Let's just do the other half of this army right now. That seems like a good thing to do. So next up would be this guy, the big vulture guy. I picked the Killaboss, but again, you could pick Gobsprak if you want. Like it's the same situation. The guy on the big vulture.
Yeah. Actually, well, one has a chair and the other one has like a regular like harness.
Yeah.
And the chair and Gobsprak with the chair looks worse.
Sure.
Yeah. But it is like they captured the mood of the army in the centerpiece, which is like this lurking, menacing, creepy, like it's literally like swamp stalkers.
Yep.
As a result, the bird does not look particularly imposing. It looks more like wretched and menacing,
which I love, which is great for this
Yeah.
army, right? Like that's not a negative here. I think that actually is really wonderful that it looks kind of like thin and sickly and wretched. Yes, I think that's great.
Yeah. So like centerpiece-ness, yes, it does its job. Paintability, you've painted this, I have not. So I feel it's more than just a bird, but like maybe it's
a very cool model. Like it's honestly like I legitimately like this. Paintability, I rank it pretty high. Again, it's got all these feathers and stuff, but the bird itself actually has quite a lot of detail. The different skin, the musculature has like a lot of really nice micro detail on it. Okay. The thing looks mean. It's in a great pose. The way it's like hunched over that log is nice. It really does, as you said, it fits as the centerpiece of the Cruel Boys. Like it absolutely feels like, regardless of which one you are, it feels like, yeah, that's the king of the Cruel Boys, right? Okay. And like cool factor, it's pretty awesome. Again, whether you're ranking the Killaboss or the Gobsprak, I'm gonna basically treat them interchangeably here because they're for our purposes the same model, right? So
yeah. I don't know where I put it. I really don't.
Okay, I got a vote for you. I think he goes right below the Guo, but above the Eidolon. Either that or right below the Eidolon and above the Lord of Change. I think he's pretty high up. He's definitely better than the Lord
I
of
would.
Change. I'm sure about that.
I mean, I think the Eidolon is the best looking miniature basically in the game, so I'd put it below the Eidolon.
Okay.
But yeah, it does its job. Even if
Yeah.
I struggle to enjoy this miniature, it does what it set out to do, and it does it
Yeah.
well.
I agree.
So, um,
I
yeah,
can mess with that. I'll go. He's definitely better than Lord of Change. There's no question about that, right? We'll put
yes,
him right below the
yes.
Eidolon. That seems fair. That
Mhm.
seems fair. Okay. All right. Okay.
We're getting close to the end. We only have about like 8 more or something like that.
Something like that. It's not that many.
Yeah,
We'll get through them quick here. Okay.
yeah.
Here we go. Catacross.
As I'd say, you're teasing your favorite two for last, right?
Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Catacross.
Okay.
Mr. Diorama.
Yeah.
All right.
Like dioramas as sent, like it literally it. Not only does he personifies the centerpiece, perhaps too much. He has circled the entire Earth and came back to where he started, where it's like I don't know how I feel about 5 models contributing to like a display miniature as
Sure.
centerpiece
It's
gaming
weird to
figure.
have this thing walking around the board, right? Yes. It feels very
Yes.
static. So it's strange, right?
Yeah. Catacross himself looks too similar to the rest of the Bone Reapers, even though I think that's intentional.
You mean he
I'm
looks
not the
too
biggest.
dissimilar? Is that what you're saying?
No, he looks just like another guy.
Oh, wow.
Like,
I always found him to be like, I think his little lieutenants look very much like the rest of the Bone Reapers. I think he looks so different because he's like the one solid, perfectly curated marble piece, right?
I would have liked to have seen certain details about him changed. Like, he just reads just like as a much bigger Bone Reaper. I'm not the biggest fan of how Catacross himself looks. If it
Okay.
was just him on the base, I would say this model looks too similar to the rest of the army and doesn't read to me as like I would like to all of the Mortarks, Olinder as an exception, have a combination of like, yeah, they're on a mount, but like Usharan, Neferata, Manfred, they are a combination of the different tropes that they represent across the undead in
Sure. I
one
mean, I think they're all
miniature.
pretty samey,
Yeah.
is my honest answer with them. But sure.
Mhm.
I think, okay, let me defend Catacross here. It's weird that
Yeah.
we have this like diorama that walks around the board, but I get what they're going for, so it's fine. Like I can suspend my disbelief around it. I think where this wins is that all of the characters that are on this diorama are like legitimately interesting.
Yes. Yeah, they're
Okay.
great.
Like he is clearly the centerpiece and the most important figure and draws your eyes, but there's a lot of discoverability on this thing.
Yeah.
Right? Where each guy, the samurai dude, the flag bearer, the little scroll bearer, the like little spy master, every one of them is like weird and different and interesting in a unique way, right? And
Mhm.
he's clearly going for like that Xerxes kind of vibe, right? Like the Persian
Yeah.
king kind of thing. And I think that that's all very compelling, right? Um he like if you when he's in the middle of your army, he does read like a centerpiece. He's not very
Mhm.
big, but he does clearly seem to be the guy in charge, right?
Yeah.
But his like but we cannot get past that like it is a little weird. It doesn't really feel like a game piece in the same way the rest of these do, right?
Yeah.
And
To answer
so
some of the
go ahead. Go ahead.
answer some of the comments, and I'm going to save this for Nagash. I think he just needs a different face, amongst other things.
Okay.
It's a little bit more
Interesting.
flesh, yeah. But anyway,
All right.
um, yeah,
My vote for him is I think he goes above the Lord of Change, below the Corpse Ripper Vulture.
that feels appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say somewhere around the Lord of Change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I think the Corpse Ripper does a better job of like representing the faction and like feeling like a we'll bring him to the front there so he's visible. of just like being an overall cool model. But he's just definitely better than Lord of Change. He's more dynamic, more interesting. Period. Right. Okay. Cool. Let's do him. Here we go. We're on a Mortark kick. Let's keep rolling. Let's get this Furby out here. Big Oosh.
Meatball Run.
The Mortark of Delusion.
Just because someone else who might be political has used that term does not mean I don't get to use it. He is meatball shaped, and his name is Ron. Therefore, he is Meatball Ron.
Sure, that's fine. Look, this guy's a little Furby, okay? And everyone in the chat is getting ready. This is they've had their like pitchforks and torches ready for the whole show, ready for me to just absolutely just bag on this guy, okay? All right. But listen, people, this is why we have a difference. This is why I use, as I said, an objective rule system. Paintability, very high. The muscles, the muscularity is fantastic. The fur, the bones hidden in it. His face is super expressive. His weapon is awesome. The big scene he's on of like the ground is, again, frames him very cool. The way he's like coming down the stairs. His centerpiece-ness is fantastic. Like he absolutely looks like the king of all these ghouls. Okay. Like there is no doubt he is their lord. Okay. And at a lot of other angles, he looks like kind of garbage. That's simply true. Right. Yeah. And that hurts him. Like that is simply fair. Okay. I'm going to be fair to this guy. And that's the reality. At a lot of angles, he just looks like a big ball of fur. I'm sorry, everybody.
Miniatures have only one golden angle. No matter how golden that angle is, they suffer.
Right. Right. But his cool factor is like an 11 out of 10. Like this dude is super cool. Okay. So I think he's high up. My honest answer, Marty, is I think he's above Catacross, but below Corpse Ripper. That's where I think he belongs. Like, I think he goes one step above the guys we just placed, right? So, like, he's above the Lord of Change, above Catacross, below the Corpse Ripper Vulture. Corpse Ripper has way more golden, or like way more better angles where he looks cool at. There's too many angles where this guy just looks like a ball of fur. But, like, where he looks like he's going to, pop out something from, like, Gizmo. But nonetheless, the angles that he has from the front and the muscle definition and like the weapon, like this view generally from the front, he looks absolutely stunning. He's amazing in that place.
This is definitely one of their like when presented as a display, like with that golden angle, one of the best miniatures they've ever made for this game.
Absolutely, and we got to credit
when
that, right?
This way, when viewed this one way,
yeah, like in general, it's like you got about this much space on him, right? It's like probably a 45 degrees. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Alariel. Talk about the muscularity. Oof.
Yeah, we were talking about
somebody didn't skip leg day.
At the beginning of the show, we were talking about how early centerpieces differ from before. I think they were still finding their footing with how they wanted to pose, like dynamically. Like this is, I think, one of the rare ones where there is no basing, like there's no tactical rock. The bug is kind of like
this bug on the ground.
Right? The bug is not doing anything. The bug is looking exactly forward. The bug has all 4 or 6 feet on the ground, and it is doing nothing with the beetle parts. I like no way. There's just no dynamism. It is.
Sure, but she has a lot of movement to her. The beetle, I agree, is very flat. But like the way she's facing to the side, reaching up, her wings are awesome.
Yeah.
Like Alariel herself is an absolute triumph. I think the beetle is just like a very big, impressive mount, right?
Yeah.
Like my honest answer is I think this is one of the most gorgeous models they've made in a long time. Yeah. Paintability, I think, is very high. The beetle could have been very, very samey, but they put an incredible amount of visual interest into that beetle, from like the little forest elements to the little soul pods, you know, his little face and extra hooks and stuff like that. And she is just like an absolute, like, she's a stunner,
Yeah.
right?
I think the bug brings it down. Maybe I am like a bug hater. Like
Sure.
Belthanos. Like that the bug that they made for Belthanos, which is supposed to be very similar, like feels a lot more dynamic
I agree.
and
I mean,
there's
although his bug
movement
is also
there.
pretty flat on the ground, but it's a better looking
Yeah.
beetle.
Yeah.
It's also like not meant to be her massive Wardroth beetle either, right? Um,
Yes.
like, and there is no question. Like, if you put this model on the table, she's the leader of the army, right? Like, she
Yeah.
is the definition of centerpiece. She's what I look. Let's look at it this way: most armies would wish for a centerpiece like her,
Yes.
right? That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. My only question with her is she better than Vordry or below Vordry? Like, she's so up at the top. She's a
Yeah.
slam dunk. But,
Um
like, is she the new queen of this list? Or king of this list, or whatever? Is she the new top of this list? Is she topping? Okay. Or does she fall just under Vordry?
I think she's a bridesmaid.
Wow. Okay, you want her just under. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right, folks. It's time to go to the chat. Above Vorderai, below Vorderai. Give us the vote. Give us the vote. Above or below Vorderai? Where's she going? Okay.
People like the bug more than I do.
Sure.
It's as simple as that.
Oh, Chuck's in the chat. He's saying above. What's up, Chuck?
Yeah. Hello, Chuck.
Okay. This one was a little closer. Was a little closer.
Yeah.
Vince,
All
but when
right.
you look
I
at her,
tried.
do you think, yeah, that's the centerpiece of some logs and stuff? I mean, I agree. There's got to be some difference there. Like, I'm knocking her down a little bit because of the fact that she doesn't really look like her troops very much. Yes, I agree. But I think the aboves take it. That was a closer fight. But everybody, hail to the new queen. She is here. All right. Okay. Bring them all down slightly. Okay. Oop. All right. Very good. The new queen is here. She does have the wooden arm, and I will say that's the worst part about her. I hate that wooden arm too.
Yes, it is. Yes, I got rid of that when I made.
So did I. I put a normal arm on her with a like the old high elf sorceress thing. Yep.
I remember.
Okay. Loon boss on Manglasquig. Very dynamic. Paint ability.
Yeah.
Pretty annoying to paint because of like how ridiculous this model is, but it's fun. He's got a lot of visual interest. It's a very dynamic model with like a lot of interest to paint. It's absolutely beautiful. The squigs are good. The goblins just imply an insane amount of movement, right? Like the sculpting on the on the goblins is so good, of them just like clearly hanging on for dear life, right? And you know, centerpiece-ness. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
that's good. You got goblins, you got squigs. It works as a centerpiece for both of them. That's good, right? I absolutely think it would make people want to buy the army, right? Cool factor, pretty high, pretty high. It's a very cool model. Okay.
I would put it above Catacross, not higher.
Wow. Okay. I'm in a very different place on it. I'm in a very different place on it. I think it's movement and stuff. I think it's up near the top for me. I think it's a really good model. I'm just trying to decide exactly where. I think it's definitely above the Corpse Ripper Vulture for me. Okay. I just think this is like such a classic model. Like, I think it sums up Gits so well, right? Like, when you look at this, it really does. Like, when I mentioned earlier that part of a centerpiece should like make you want to play the army and communicate everything about the army. The the goofiness of it, but also the like clear danger of the thing wonderfully sums up Gits in a single model. Right?
Yeah, that is true.
Okay. I think where I come down for him is like, I think probably we got to say, if it was me, I think the Guo just edges it out, but better than the Eidolon.
See
And
if it's
let me
me.
see if
It
I
is
can
your
defend
show,
that.
Vince.
No, it's fine. Let me see if I can defend that. The reason I'm saying that is because the Loon boss is really good. He's great, even. Okay. But, you know, the Guo just has that really classic thing. He's just a better paintability. The Centerpiece, he aligns a little better with his army and like his whole aesthetic. It's definitely more dynamic and interesting even than the Eidolon, but it's very on brand and very cool, right? So that's where I'm saying. He's in the top. He's definitely a top echelon guy, right? We're up there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Keith Reimer says if you're trying to explain Gits with a single model, you show this model. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Talia is out of place at this point. I don't know. I think she's holding up, but we'll do a refresh at the end. We'll make sure everything's there. Okay. All right, let's go through the last couple here. Archaon.
My destruction hate is showing. I like ogres.
Sure. Archaon, the Grand Marshal of the Apocalypse, the centerpiece of centerpieces.
I remember the viral Hero Quest video where he's talking about the simplicity of the gargoyle, and he uses Archaon as the contrast. Because this was like 2017 or something. No, Hero Quest Silver Tower was 2016, so it's just like this is still relatively fresh. And he was like, Archaon's like, this is an abomination. This is a gargoyle. Archaon is just the mess. He is peak over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Too small on that model. It's too big.
Okay.
Paintability, no. Like,
sure. I love the painting video
seen...
for this guy from Duncan. Super classic back in the day, right? Just a million steps.
It was 5 parts. It was 5 videos. It was multiple videos. I think there are only about 5 people I've ever seen paint this. I think it's you, Duncan, Herner.
Well, I have 2 of him.
Yeah, but still, you have painted it. Yeah. Right. Point being, is just like people don't paint this model. They don't.
Both of mine are better, by the way, and converted. So that's going to tell you where I'm going to fall.
Exactly. Archaon. I think the main issue is that Archaon is too small for the model. Like, he gets lost.
Sure. Yeah.
And because of that, he loses his centerpiece. It's like what is this a centerpiece of? All of chaos?
I assume, yeah, that's kind of what's happening here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they also didn't know what they wanted to do with Slaanesh at the time, which is why the Slaanesh head isn't there.
Right.
Like, and it's like, who is this for? What is this? Why is this here? Skull pimples. Archaon
I hate
them.
God, the worst.
Yeah.
Both of my models have those shaved down and puttied over. I just have Dorgar as a dragon. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. This would be in like the lower third for me.
So where are you putting him? Like, is he above the Frostlord on Stonehorn?
Ooh, I'm not sure about that, man.
Wow.
I'm not.
Wow.
I like the Stonehorn more than I like this.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
Wow. That is saying something. I mean,
but also because I like the Stonehorn period, but yeah,
sure.
I've never been no, and the fact that you don't see this miniature like often presented, finished by hobbyists at events or like contests, I think says something.
God, I don't know if I can go that low for him. Like, I love, by the way, the difference in the chat. Like, sometimes the chat is fairly aligned with us, and sometimes they kind of, sometimes the chat groups, right?
Yes.
This time the chat is all over the place. There's people who are like, put him at the top, all the way at the bottom, anywhere in the middle. Like, People are literally all over the shop. They went every place for this guy. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm making like 80% of you angry with literally any place I put him. Okay.
Yeah, and if I may add, there's a few comments in here. Bellacore is a better miniature. But they both have the same problem where they are not emblematic of the faction they're supposed to be leading.
Sure.
And I think that's a core problem of the catalog for Slaves to Darkness. Like, if you take both of these models out, the largest model in the army is the Slaughter Brute. Like, what are we doing here?
Sure.
Like, a
Okay.
Slaughter Brute is not a center.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think that looking at the average of the chat and where you're at versus where I'm at, okay, that tells me he's pretty mid. All right.
Yeah.
And I think he's above the Ironclad and below Trug.
Sure.
Can you accept that?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
He is in blue. He's firmly in like cold territory.
Yeah, sure. I think just like that tells us he's in the mid, right? That's what it comes down to. Okay. All right. Let's get down to our we got some well, let's do a new one here. I guess I got this guy. I couldn't even grab the picture because he wasn't available off of the website. So like with everybody else, I was able to grab their actual picture. For this guy, I had to grab the like Warhammer preview one because he doesn't have a real picture on the website. Yep. And that's Uruktar or whatever, the big bull, the bull guy from the Hellsmiths, right? Their centerpiece. Okay. Paintability. I mean, I haven't painted him yet. I'm going to, but I think it's pretty high. I think the bull looks cool. I think it being like a construct war machine is actually pretty interesting. When it's in the metallics, I think it looks really good. I think the flat one looks stupid. I think Uruktar himself does not look as cool as the other writer, who I think looks like way better. But like again, you can use like I'm taking between the special version and the other version.
It's no, it's an interesting challenge, I think, as a sculptor to make dwarf heroes like look like
different and interesting because they all end up being just like the same guy. Yeah.
Right. And because they're short and how Warhammer dwarves look, it's like you don't have a lot of room. They also have like these big waisted pants, like with these giant belts and stuff, which takes up a lot of room on them. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I mean, like it's too new for me to really have too many emotional and thoughts about it. But like, it is all one texture, in my opinion. The bull itself, which I think is a no. I would have liked to have seen it look a little bit more like the Juggernauts, where you can see a little bit more of the moving parts underneath the armor, even if you wanted to make it fully mechanical. But the pose is good. Centerpiece-ness, yes.
Yeah, he definitely fits in with the army. All right, that's for sure. Yeah. Like the bull aesthetic is strong with this one.
Yes. Centerpiece-ness painting, sure. It's all one texture.
Right.
Yeah. And coolness, I would say, is lower for me. But like it's a lot like something like the Vulture. Where it's like it is set out to do certain things and it has done them well.
Yeah. I think he's below Catacross, but above the Lord of Change. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, and Usharon's like in between them. So
yeah, so he'd be like 2 steps below Usharon. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, below Catacross.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're getting to be a little small. You can see I'm trying to look at them. Yeah.
We're getting towards the sun's getting real low here. All right.
Yeah.
He's definitely better than a dumb Lord of Change.
Yeah.
Okay. Lord of Change is a great fig. It's classic. All right. Okay. Let's do our final couple here. Lord Croak.
No. Like, I get it, but no.
Boy, is he scoring low on paintability. This thing is a nightmare.
Yeah. It has no face because it's a mummy. So no, like there's just too much crap. There's a painter I like a guy named Lawrence East, also known as Slow Painter Laws.
While you're
Shout
talking,
out
I'm
to him.
reorganizing.
Yes. Who has basically orcs cosplaying as Seraphon. They're trying to fool the forces of order into believing that they are actually Seraphon. It's like a bunch of goblins who have taken over like a slan and like feeding the slam mushrooms and stuff. He made a better version of this wacky, crazy diorama. Uh, and so it's like I see this model and I just see like a conversion gone wrong, sold as a vanilla kit. There is no emotion because Croak is a mummy. The chair is floating and all over the place. It looks like an over-designed early 2010s CGI contraption that belongs in a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. We're done here.
Wow. Marty coming out swinging, coming out hot against Croak.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, look. I think his paintability is near Garbo. Now, that being said, his centerpiece-ness is pretty high. Okay?
Yeah.
Like he like when you're looking for sort of this sorial magical majesty, right? I think he does hit that. I think to me it's like paintability low, centerpiece-ness mid-high, cool factor super high. Like this is just a really impressive feat of miniature engineering. Okay? And I think that like overall I'm way higher on this guy than you are. Like I get what you're saying. The busyness is a factor. It's real. Okay?
I would just want to reiterate in the comments, I like the new regular slam.
Sure.
That one is fine. This is a monster.
Sure. Okay. But I agree he's like super busy, and at the same time it's like, well, what does the frog have to do with dinosaurs, right? Like that's kind of a tricky thing as far as centerpiece-ness goes, obviously. Like if you know the army, you know what's going on there, but it's like, okay. All right. My thought on him is he's somewhere down in this second row. So like I'm saying he's better than the Maw Crusher, he's better than Abraxia, better than the Lord of Change. That's where I stop.
I would have put him around the Maw Crusher.
Okay. So we're not that far
yeah.
off.
Yeah, we're not that far off, yeah.
Okay.
So like before Abraxia, but after the Lord of Change?
Yeah, like in between Uruk-tar and the Lord of Change is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Does that seem reasonable to you?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm not that much of a hater.
Sure.
I mean, after my creative rant, I know that's hard to believe.
No, it's fine. All right, let's do the last couple ones here. Nagash, the Pope himself.
I mean, he's our first big one. He's
the big biggie. He's the original big biggie.
Like, yeah, Stonehorns were big, but this was like when that white dwarf leaked. I remember we were still using Bell of Lost Souls and like War of Sigmar or something, like 3 years before Warhammer Community was like a twinkle in Andy Smiley's eye. We were looking at this thing and it's like, that can't be real. This can't, like, that's Godzilla. Nagash is the size of like an actual house in 28mm scale. I would put him very high. He incorporates all aspects of death as a texture on his miniature.
He's got the ghost, he's got the bones. Yeah, you kind of break out all the armies into him. Yes, he does kind of feel like he belongs in any of them to a point. I think Soulblight's probably the weakest alignment, but sure.
Right. Like, I think if they were to do him again, I would not have just like the skull face. I would like to see like maybe same thing with Catacross. I'd like to see like a little bit more like maybe like Tomb King style, like where it's a mummified like face, but there's still like a face instead of
it's weird that he has like a bunch of bone and then a mummified torso.
Yes.
But that's there because they could support his entire upper body on a single spine. right? So
They
that's
tried
why
that
he
with the
has
Dread
that
Abyssals,
mummified
and it doesn't
torso.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of the mounts the original Mortarks are on, they don't work. Well, you don't
Yeah.
see people paint them. Boing.
That's a good fair point. Lich Finder General, Soul Blight, weaker alignment than FEC. Okay. I that's a fair point, Lich Finder.
Yeah. He's still like iconic, classic. He scores high.
I'm saying he's below Catacross, but above Uruktar.
Wow. Why not one of the top 5?
Why not? In the end, I feel like he's actually, because I don't know if I can actually put my finger on this, but let me see if I can break down what I'm feeling here. His paintability is fine. He's really big, okay, but like he's paintable enough. I don't like a lot of the clash of the aesthetics he has with like the different energies swirling around and stuff like that, because I wish it continued above him. It's just there clearly to hold him aloft, right? It doesn't actually feel like it's part of him. Like it should be up and around him. He should be in the middle of this swirling maelstrom, and he's not. What they managed to achieve later with Croak by putting him at the center of the gyrosphere, as it were, right, or whatever, right? His centerpiece-ness as the like central death model, there just is a lot of armies he doesn't really fit into, right?
Yeah.
And that's actually, Brano just made a really good point that I think is that's actually, I think, Brano, you got to what has kind of been sitting with me, which he feels like a foot hero sized up to Centerpiece.
Yeah.
Right? I think Brano, you actually nailed it better than I was saying. And I mean, the coolness he's cool as, okay? Like the dude is simply a super cool model. I would give him the sword, by the way. I picked the staff picture, but somebody said real question is sword or staff. I think he looks way cooler with the sword. But like, I'm not, knocking him up or down based on that. I just think Catacross is a more visually compelling model is honestly the answer. That feels more coherently designed, right? Nagash just feels like this singular thing that's like, okay, whatever. All right. I'll break with tradition. Keeper of Secrets.
I was about to say, I thought you were saving Slaanesh for last for your...
I said I'll break with tradition, yes. All right. I think the Keeper of Secrets is I think she's the best Greater Demon. That's it. I'm like, paintability, incredible. Okay. Like this model has beautiful, beautiful skin, textures, everything about her. I've painted this 6 times. All right. Like, I know this model. And I just think it's the best Greater Demon they've designed. It's so Slaanesh. The only Greater Demon even remotely on par with it is the Guo. Okay. Like, let's just say that first off and out of the gate. Like, this thing and the Guo, they dunk on the Lord of Change and the Bloodthirster like so hard. Okay. Because both of them to me are like so perfect to their faction. Okay. And the way, like, I've seen some people attacking the pose, and I get that, but I actually think the pose is perfect. The way she's just simply striding with the cape loosely flowing behind her, like looking down menacingly, that's all she needs to do. Yes, exactly. Lich Finder General. She's arrogant, contemptuous, and graceful. Perfect. That's exactly what she is. She doesn't need to be jumping around flippy dippy like the mask is super dynamic, right? Like where she's like up like this with the stick and like bouncing off of something. And that's because the mask is the dancer and she's meant to be that. The Keeper of Secrets doesn't need to do that. Right? She knows who she is. Or they know who they are, I should say. Right? And like centerpiece-ness, I mean, it absolutely is the centerpiece of the army. Now, the only potential fight I had here was I did think for a moment about whether to include both her and Glutos. Because she definitely feels more aligned if you have a demon or like not super mortal heavy army. Okay. Which is a fair piece of pushback. Her cool factor is just off the charts. I mean, really, I cannot explain. I think this is just like one of the coolest models they've ever made. Okay.
Who's after Vordry?
So
It's getting a little
Vordry
low.
and then
Yeah.
Talia and then the Guo. Okay.
Better than
And
Talia.
what's that?
Better than Talia for sure.
Really? Okay. See, I wasn't even gonna give her that. My honest answer is I was gonna put her above the Guo, but below Talia. But I mean, I'm not against it. But like, to me, I'll give you my honest answer. I would feel like I'm just giving her bonus points for like that. Like, I think she's one of the
Yeah.
greatest models, but she doesn't have the present. Like, as much as I love her and as much as I think she's good, I just don't think she has the presence that Talia or Vordry or Alariel has. They all
right.
scream Centerpiece in such a bold way. Okay. I would love to put her above Talia, and I could easily see the argument, right? But it's just like is there an x-axis to this? No, Huey. It's just trying to fit everybody in a stacked rank, right? Put it to a vote, above or below Talia. Okay, we'll put it to a vote. I'll let the audience decide. You're right, Cygnus. Above or below Talia? Give me that. Okay, audience. Above or below Talia? Okay, we'll let them decide. Yeah, exactly. Like I want to put her above, but I honestly think she's below.
There is not a clear. This might be 50-50.
We'll see. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
It's close. It's tight. It's a tight match. It's a tight match. Oh, there you go. The below uh-oh. Below county has reported late. But it's come in with a tranche of votes.
Yeah.
All right, very good. We'll keep her below.
Yeah, yeah, we haven't done Marathi yet.
Oh, I know. Don't you worry.
I can only see Visic, so it's like
I understand. Don't worry, everybody. I got us covered. All right, Visic. I've got my secret area over on the left here where I got more stuff.
Visic. Gonna phone a friend because Ninjan painted this. Just like, and we'd know better than most people. I don't have too much to say about it. I think it's a little too visually busy for my tastes.
Yeah.
Like there's too many horns. The prayer, sort of like priestly garb blocks a lot of the model from being visible. It is quintessentially Skaven, but it's an aspect of Skaven I think people aren't too aware of, which is like sort of the horned rat side. People think, I think, a little bit more into Skyer, where it's like contraptions and warpstone and machinery, rather than, I think, some of like the more wicked wizard side. This feels like a little something out of Dark Crystal. And yeah, Nightmare to paint. Centerpiece-ness, sure.
He definitely leads as like, he's definitely King Rat. Like, there's no doubt about that, right? Like,
King Rat.
Alignment with faction is like a dead bullseye center. Like, he is King Rat. Who's in charge of all these rat guys? Is it the 20-foot tall rat guy in the middle? Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like if you put him in front of a bunch of Skyer things is what I would say. It's like
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Catharsis with his vote. Everybody was doing like, 10 out of 10 or whatever. Nope. Catharsis. He's a 13 out of 13. Yes. A+.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. I agree. Like, I think this guy's great. There's some elements of his design that I don't like. I think he is quite busy to a little bit to his detriment. Like he could be a little better. I honestly, when I build him, I might strip some parts off of him. I still have to build this guy and put him together. He's going to be a video at some point. I don't know when it'll get made, but I want to do a joke video of like, I'm going to beat John's Golden Demon guy in a weekend. I'm going to pay this guy in a weekend and do better than John spent 500 hours on by doing it with oil paints, something like that. Right. But at any rate, I think he's really, really strong. I think he's better than the Eidolon, but like below the Loon Boss on Mangler. That's where I'd put him.
I entirely agree. Like
Okay.
I think that's like a pinpoint. Yeah, we are in perfect alignment here.
Very good.
Because it's like I think the Loon Boss, the Squig does its job better than I think the
Yeah,
Mizik
agreed.
does.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Vizik, get on up in there. Here, we'll bring you to the front so that way we can see him. Boop. There he goes. Okay. Last one. No longer shall I be denied. Marathi, the Shadow Queen. Look, I'm just gonna put my vote down now. This is the best centerpiece model in the game.
Okay.
I think she is
I
incredible.
like there's aspects of it I really like. I look at it like just putting Little Marathi to the side. Like I think Little
Sure.
Marathi's fine. Like it's Marathi. It's not too much of a costume change. Like it feels like it's updated for. It's no longer 1997. Like this is Marathi as she looks and.
Sure.
But yeah. But I look at her big model, and I can't help but see sculptors trying to put Fulgrim into AOS because he just feels like the similar tropes have been.
I legitimately think she's better than Fulgrim. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say that. I think Fulgrim's actually the new
Yeah.
Fulgrim they made is actually like kind of like is
Bad.
not as good.
Yeah. I'm thinking about like the Forge World, like the fact that it's like the snake tail, the harpy wings.
The way she's
It
gripping the
is-
column and like ripping it
Yes.
up out of the ground, the motion she has the folded wing as well, but it doesn't look terrible like the dragon does because it fits her movement so much better of her going that
Yes.
direction.
And in person, the wings have more dimension to them. Like they complement everything. The spear is pointing in the right direction. Like I like that she has. From an art design perspective, this is a win. All of the Dark Elves have always had the companion of like the Greek antagonist myth creatures.
Yeah.
So she has the harpy wings, she has the Naga tail or like the serpent tail, and she has the Medusa hair on top of all of the things which are like quintessential Dark Elf with all of the designs like the spear and everything like that. It's just like, yeah, I could confidently say that this is like near the top, if not the top. So if you want to put it above a L'Oreal, I can see why.
I do. I really do. I just think like, okay, paintability. Again, like the different elements of her are so clean and crisp and visually compelling between like the wings and the texture in the wings and like her outfit and her like face is so clean. It's one of the better female faces they've done. They're generally very bad at them, but she feels very feminine, right? Her crown is like incredible in its detail and sculpting, right? So like paintability off the charts for me. Her and like not to mention the fact that everything said the dynamism of the pose, everything like that, the way she's going backwards, ripping the thing, the wing movement, the spear movement, incredible. The centerpiece-ness, she has both the snake elements and the dark elf elements and the wings. So whether it's like the Canary or the elves or the snake ladies, she feels like she is the culmination of all of them together, right?
Yes.
They are all elements of her. Right? Is what it feels like.
And I would say it's like it does make sense that she was like probably designed first because sometimes when the Games Workshop like studio, just how they tend to work is like they'll make like the iconic character that they want to make for the army, and then they will work down from like pulling troops out of that so that because most Warhammer like this is just how they've sculpted things for probably around 20 years now, especially since they started doing the ZCAD, is Warhammer art design is linear or like either this way or this way, where the character or the troops will have aspects of design present in the centerpiece.
Sure.
Sort of thing.
Yes, yeah. I understand. Yes, the Doomfire Warlocks. Yeah. First of all three of you. Whatever. Okay, so at any rate, I'm glad she represents no Doomfire Warlockness. I assume there's a dead horse underneath her that she ate earlier today. Here's ultimately what it comes down to. On every other fig in this list, even Alariel, there's a few things I don't like and could see improving. I do not know a single thing I would change on this model. Not a one.
Yeah.
That's it. Right? Like, that's what it comes down to. Like,
Yeah,
I think she is as close to, like, perfected. Is it the avatar of Cain, the Doc Centerpiece? Oh, Lichfinder General. Oh. T-pose. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's, again, we're talking about the Shadow Queen, not, like, the little girl, but, you know, when it comes to this model, there's literally nothing I would change. I think this model is just, it's perfect. It's exactly what you want. So there you go.
So I presume it'll be the next tab, but it's like, so Marathi, Alariel, Vordry.
Yeah, so let's go through the list. We will rack it up here. Okay. So our list in order of bestness, of coolness, of overall centerpieces. What do we got? Here is our order. Marathi, Alariel, Vordry, Talia, Keeper, Guo, Loon Boss, Vizix Scour, the Eidolon, the Corpse Ripper Vulture guys, Big Oosh, Catacros, Nagash, get on a little death run there, Uruktar, Croak, the Lord of Change, Abraxia, the Mega Boss on Maw Crusher, Black Coach, Trug, Archeon, Ironclad, Crazy / Krondus, the Bloodthirster, the Frostlord on Stonehorn, the Magmadroth, King Broad, Teaklis, Kragnos, Ladio. There you go. That's the list.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Be'lakor did not get robbed. Be'lakor took his position as like best miniature ever and decided to not vote. Like, not be in the run.
He's sure outside of this contest. Yeah, don't worry. He's around. He's just, you know, again, like, it was the problem of I tried to keep it to like one per army, and I ended up picking Abraxia because I thought she was a better representative of the larger faction, right, of S2D.
Yeah.
Again, Be'lakor is an amazing model, like, no doubt. Okay. So there you go. There you go. That's the list. We've stacked them up. Let this forever be known. Where would I put Smog? Oh my God. I don't even know. I mean, he doesn't belong to an army, so he can't really be a centerpiece. I would put him as an amazing thing to paint and put on your mantle because he's like too big to be a gaming miniature.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. So overall, I don't know. I feel pretty good about that list. I feel like that's pretty nice. It's pretty solid. Okay.
Yeah.
I see some bias on this list. I'm sorry, that is impossible. As I stated at the beginning, Average Joe, we used a scientific method to measure the exact atomic weight of their paintability, their centerpieceness, and their coolness factor, which, as you all know, are just things you can completely measure objectively. There you go.
Yeah, to like the two people calling me a hater, my favorite character is third from the bottom. So how's that?
Sure. I mean, I hate Oosh, and yet he ended up pretty high up on this list. So, you know, there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
What's the Stormcast guy riding the dragon called? Do you mean Ionis? Ionis Cryptborn? Is that who you're talking about?
There's like 7 of those. There's the Star Drake, there's Storm Drake Guard, there's Ionis Cryptborn.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and this, don't even get me started on the Star Drake. No, the show's been going long enough.
Right. Well, Marty, thank you, brother. This is a lot of fun. I thought this would be a fun one. Hey, everybody out there, if you think I got something wrong, which I'm sure you do, or we got something wrong, okay? No Dread Saurian. No, absolutely not. I'm sorry. Models that actually exist only. Ionis Jason Cryptborn. Yes, correct. Jesus Christ. That's Ionis Jason Cryptborn. Okay. I picked the Eidolon instead of I picked the Eidolon instead of the turtle. Like I said, tried to limit it to one per army. The Eidolon felt more representative of like the centerpiece thing than the turtle, who felt like a monster in the army. At any rate, hey, if I got something wrong, why don't you tell me in the comments below? And while you're here, if you haven't already, the comments are going to be fire on this one for sure. But if you haven't already, hit like, subscribe, do those things. Thank you to everybody who super chatted. If you want to help the show, there are lots of ways you can do so. You can click links down below. You can check out our other podcasts, Fireball the Gazebo with Ninjon, my RPG podcast. You can check out Snarlcast, my indie wargaming podcast with Uncle Adam. And both of those are excellent. We really do appreciate the support. Both of them are growing, and thank you all for checking them out. We got some awesome episodes coming up, so do tune in. There's, of course, affiliate links down there. That is the number one best thing you can do to help out the channel. Just get your hobby supplies, use an affiliate link from this channel. Saves you money, and it really does help. And then, of course, there's also like the Patreon, merch store, all that kind of stuff. Marty, thank you so much. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you for having me again.
Of course, it's always a pleasure. For all of you out there, thank you all so much for being here this week. It's been great fun having you along for what is this very, very, very important discussion. In these most serious of times, we got to take on these most serious discussions, and there's nothing that'll get us nerds arguing more than what is cooler of our little toys. So thank you all for coming along. Everybody was a great sport. I appreciate all the feedback, all the voting, everybody helping us out. This was a really fun one. I do want to do some more model rankings. If you like this, tell me down in the comments, because we could do more of these. Like we could do, monsters. We could do the best like foot hero, stuff like that. I do think this would be a fun show to do intermittently. Tell me if you liked this kind of a format. I'll find a better way to get their pictures on the screen. Maybe I'll design like a better way to put them on the screen, so it's not like me moving the little blocks. At any rate, thank you everybody for watching. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to click those things that make those dings on your way out the door. And as always, we'll see you next Wednesday.